Jaywa had a lot of magic in that pixel. It's EX Valve, his time to set it up, put the bomb in there. What the?
No. A lot of bar at the bottom for Jaywa to use in terms of finding that. Never mind, you don't need a CA. You're going to come in with the dive kick, EX addition.
One more combo is all it takes to activate the trigger. Oh my goodness, perfectly timed on the EXDP to get through the Psycho Blast. Text the throw here, staying alive. Oh my goodness, the EX Demon Palm. Jaywa had a lot of magic in that pixel. It's EX Valve, his time to set it up, put the bomb in there. What the?
No way.
Back Fierce is working out.
I can't believe he back Fierce, but it works out in the clutch, gets away the bomb, and that's off the table. VX's got to find a way in. It's not going to happen. Jaywa getting in and getting it done.
Oh, tries to get a throw bait, doesn't bite on it this time. EX just V-reversal into the corner. You ain't going nowhere, my friend. Go ahead and jump. Go ahead and jump. He's daring him to, throwing out the projectiles.
I wish you would. I wish you would. Throws a fireball back at him, though. His turn, he gets a fireball, though. There's a big comeback happening. He's got to be able to land the bombs, right? That's going to be a big part, but you'll speak of the comeback. Here we go. Trigger time, baby. Hold this hard knockdown. If you're a Bison, you definitely got to hold this. Gets thrown, still alive, catches the backdash, chip, no dip, Cheetos, Doritos, or Fritos after this throw.
Scissor kick, oh wow, and he reversals with a crouch fierce with a crush counter. Don't allow the side switch. We saw he had the EXDP last time, but he's got the feature gonna cancel into another crush counter. Now you're on the verge of stun. Oh my goodness, and he went with his jump fly kick with a little block stun, set it up perfectly. That's what he needs to start doing.
I like that. Meaningless guys with a crush. Preemptive button works out in the clutch. Meaningless side switch off the heavy Kitatsu. Puts him down on the ground, but the challenge. Not going to dash him for free finally, but a little bit of a dropped input there.
Oh no, and he caught him hesitating.
One more hit for it. It might be a demon in the dark, dog. The DP hard knockdown. It's done. It's done. Jaywa solidifies his side for CPT China.
Jaywa taking it. As we said, what a story that is. The world warrior, the most traveled man in Street Fighter, is going to be traveling to Capcom Cup after that impressive victory. What do you think about his new addition to his roster, Poison? It looks like obviously he still favors Akuma for some matchups, picking for both the Urian matches in top 8. But other than that, there was a lot of Poison going on.
Yeah, I saw some of his matches on Shen's stream. Shout out Shen for streaming some of the offline matches, and yeah, man, it was Poison the majority of the way. I gotta say, I've played Jaywa tons as well in both games, Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, and that's one of the last characters I would have imagined his style picking up. You know, I feel like he's the kind of guy that almost needs a DP. You know, just the way he likes to make those bold reads and to try and throw his opponent off psychologically. But man, his Poison looks solid. It looked really solid. And is this like, how many Poisons do we have now in Capcom Cup? We got 3, I guess, in theory, who are now in Capcom Cup. This character is an emerging character, you know, that has been used in the grand finals of the last Capcom Cup. I'll say Fudo, obviously Idom, and then I guess Jaywa got a count now, right? He used her for a lot. So, you know, this character is, I mean, a lot of people are saying already she's very strong, but maybe a bit stronger than we first anticipated, because a lot of people, and by the way...
Not in Capcom Cup, you nutcase.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, silly me.
You threw me off.
Where did he finish again? Second, right?
Second
place. My bad. So yeah, we got 2 Poisons in Capcom Cup. Almost 2.5, I guess you could say. But she's been very visible, and even in the Street Fighter League, we're seeing a load of Poison as well, right? So I don't know. But focusing on Jaywa, I have to say, I was really impressed with his Poison, because his style of play, I didn't think it would suit a character like that. And he even opted for Poison in the Kami matchup. And did you see that coming? So, he played against Faye in top 16.
What I liked about his Poison is he clearly had developed strategy, because, you know, on paper, superficially, Kami gets in on Poison. Poison's got V-reversal 3-frame. That's about it. An all right backdash. Other than that, Kami just sticks to her like glue when she gets in. But he was really good at making it hard to get in. The thing with Poison's anti-air options, if she's got bar, it's really difficult to bait her with a dive kick, because if you're early with it, you can't short dive kick it. It's got crazy horizontal range if she does the EX version. You're probably not going to use heal because it's slow. So and it slaps. The damage is significant.
It
especially
hurts,
on
yeah.
someone as fragile as Cammy. If you get clipped by anything, especially in the V trigger, it's ridiculous. So
I think
he had
also
a good strategy, and he made bold, hard reads defensively, and they came off. And we saw how important that was, throwing it back to like Fudo using poison against Valoran.
in the run back, yeah. I was going to say the crouch medium punch has got a bag of active frames as well, which you can still bait it, you can still dive kick it and get a full combo. But there was one situation against Faye when he was in the corner and Faye did a dive kick and he started that crouch medium punch out and it just like hit clean into the side switch and suddenly Faye was in the corner.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like that's something to consider for Cammy. It's like, okay, yeah, I do kind of get in on this character, but if she guesses right on my anti-air game, I'm either taking a pretty significant amount of damage into Oki if it's the EX whip, or I'm getting a side switch crouch and medium into Oki as well. So and one thing that gives Poison a chance in every single one of her matchups, especially against a glass cannon like Cammy, is that freaking damage output, Logan. She hits like an absolute tank. And we saw that too. So yeah.
Even if you're just blocking, the flame damage from the Molotov, the chip damage, the grey life, it just all adds up. And a character that has to take risks to get in, as Cammy does in that matchup, any errant hit in neutral really does hurt. So similar to Poison with Seth, I think, where the damage just builds up incredibly quickly, and that 2-bar V trigger is sensational.
It is, yeah. It's a really good V trigger, especially for 2 bars. Speaking to Jaywa briefly as well, I'd say he is someone who is kind of proudly a tier whore. He kind of went through the Ken period in Street Fighter 4 and stayed a loyalist for a long time and didn't really get much for it. And he came to Street Fighter 5 with a new mentality. He's stuck to that Akuma like glue, loves the kind of overpowered, I guess, options Akuma can have in certain scenarios. If he's picking up Poison as an option, I think it's fair to say she is, she is a formidable force in this game because he's got a mentality that would suggest that.
It was really nice to see him close it out with Akuma, though. It felt right,
Listen, what do you think of that match, if you don't mind me asking? Because he's going straight for... Look, it could be a case of Urian's just annoying for Poison. But, he stuck with Poison for some... Cammy's not an easy match for Poison. He stuck with Poison. He switches to Akuma for the Urians, and he beats them both. And Xiaobao doesn't even want to play the Urian matchup. He goes to Bison. So, I wouldn't say that Akuma wins the match, but... Did you have any opinion on that match? Have you sat and spoken to some of the players of that matchup?
I feel like...
It's just an interesting dynamic, isn't it, that he made that choice?
Yeah, Akuma has... They've both not got great neutral tools in terms of just raw buttons, right? But it's a matchup of dominant wills because... They have tools they can use to control neutral in that matchup. They also have wild tools that they can use in the aerial approach, both of them. And wild tools on the ground, to be fair, with Urian. And then it becomes a case of resource management and who's ready to capitalize in what situation. But I don't think that's heavily favored in either way. Like, to the point...
Right, yeah, that's how I feel.
To the point of... I have to pick another character to deal with this for either of them.
I'd say the aerial approach. Yeah, I'd say that. I was about to say. I'd say the aerial approach you mentioned. They both got aerial approach, but Akuma has some. If he's looking for it, he's got some pretty reliable answers. Whereas with Urian, the answers are circumstantial, and in some cases they're a guess. Yeah, and we saw that as well
in some of your analysis, which we'll be getting into on the other side of this short break.
Yeah,
that is the first part of the show done. We'll be back on the other side. It's time for F-Words analysis. We do not have an interview this week with the champion. Obviously, Jaywa does speak some English, but we're going to try and get an interview from him in his native Chinese and have that translated with subtitles, which we have done, in fact, and you'll see later on, as you can see. Let me work out this. Yeah, on the side, next to this geezer, you'll see a list of what we have got coming up in the show. And it does include a Gachikun interview, which we did get put together, courtesy of Red Bull. Thank you very much for your help. So we'll be able to hear from Gachikun a little later on in the show. Lots more to come. We're going to take a short break. On the other side, FO's analysis. Don't go anywhere.
The curtain falls.
I'll take you downtown. Boom! That's how you start the fight and finish it quickly.
Let's have some fun.
Let me zap you. Here we go. That's that.
Terrific wing! Go beyond the battle.
Get ready.
Destroy! Begin!
Let's go.
Disappear! Kneel!
You do not have the strength to crush the spirit of the king.
All right. I really like to exercise. And training is a lot of fun.
Time to meet your death. 5 insect.
Pull out all the stuff.
Hadouken! Witness the power of the continent. This is the power of the king.
Paraneuro device expansion completed. Pseudo personality asset is imported properly. Biological brain connected. Dawn unit 0. Startup sequence will begin.
Well now, little piece of junk. Time to wake up.
Flower unit 0. Activate.
Well, Julie, who is a piece of junk? You idiot! Show me everything. Show me everyone. Show me everything.
Install.
Show me something worth taking. Your data is now useless. Witness the power of the content engine. This is the power of the king! Your data will reside in me for eternity.
Hey, Hey, welcome back to a special episode of Fighting Words coming to you from a undisclosed secret location this week. It's time to get into F Words' favorite segment. It's F Words analysis. And
Let's go.
Take a deep dive into the China CPT this past weekend. Of course, we didn't get that interview with the champ, Jaywa, but we are going to give you some great insight from the mind, one of the finest minds in fighting game analysis. F-Word himself. What have you got for us?
I love these little intricacies in the game, and there's going to be tons of things that go over our head, Logan. You know what I mean? Even a high-level player versus a high-level player. There are strategies being implemented that never got to be executed. There are plans that are not being seen. There's so much little intricacies going on. I love just sitting there trying to figure out what's actually happened. But yeah, I want to highlight some of the guys, and big shout out to the China scene. They got some serious talent I never heard of that really impressed me this weekend. We're going to start off with Tony, because I mean, we cannot do a CPT without a CPT analysis of this weekend without giving this guy a shout out. I mean, he had some very, very dominant performances, made it so far in winner's side as well. Can't say I'd heard of him before this weekend as well. So just super impressed with his performance going there. The first part we're going to look at actually is his set versus Whaley. And I'm sorry, Whaley, this is coming at your expense a little bit here. But it's a great moment. And I just love, like, you know, how the data is being collected and you don't even realize it, right? Because that's some of the things that the highest level players do. And you might have a habit or a trend in your game that you haven't noticed that you have. You're just kind of in autopilot mode, or you're just doing it. But your opponent knows you have this habit, and they're going to punish you for it big time. So we're going to this set here. Tony's already kind of dominating this set. It's like 2-0. At this particular moment. So let's run the clip and I'll talk you guys through this. And you're going to notice a few things as this set like progresses. So one thing that Whaley keeps doing in this particular sequence is dash forward crouch medium kick. And it's actually quite an effective strategy. There he does it straight away. Every time he gets a certain range away, he does a dash forward crouch medium kick, and he either whiffs it, there it is again, he tries it again, or he catches his opponent with it, right? And Tony, seeming like he's just accepting this situation or doesn't have an answer for it, actually has a strategy in place for it. So he's waiting for an opportunity to really punish him for that. Dashes again. Look at that. Ooh. Look at that. I know you're gonna do your patented dash forward medium kick. So I'm gonna step back just outside of that dash range, and instead of whiff punishing, because I can't really whiff punish from the range you're dashing at, I'm gonna do this instead. Now he got into a bit of a pickle here, and I think actually it was Whaley who won this round with a crazy Laura comeback. But, you know, we've seen that a million times. Yeah. That moment there where, and you know, the cleanest thing about this Logan that I love the most is we all got buffer strategies, right? From the highest level to the lowest level player. But I love the fact that he didn't whiff a single medium punch before he did that. You know, because even me, myself, when I know my opponent's got a habit, I'll try to stick a buffer in there, but the timing's not great. So I'm kind of giving my strategy away. He's seeing that I'm doing this, and he knows I'm buffering it with some kind of malice, some kind of dangerous EX buffers in there. But he didn't whiff a single medium punch in neutral. He just waited for that dash again, that patented dash that he kept doing.
On reaction to...
Oh, absolutely. There it is again. As well, if the clip had kept running, man, he did it to him about 4 times in the set, and it was, in the end, it was a very dominant performance from Tony. I actually was told by the Chinese community that.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at that corner situation.
Let's carry it, baby. Oh, they nerfed her corner throw positioning, man. She's screwed now, dude. It's all about a mind game. That's what Punk said. Hey, as long as I'm close enough for a button, my opponent's in a mind game, and he's absolutely right. I think he played extremely well. Now, I'm told that was a bit of a grudge match because there's a bit of rivalry between those two, so it's unfortunate for Wei Lee, but I hope he gets a chance to run it back at some point in the near future. But massive shout out to Tony. He had a great weekend. Logan.
Obviously, you're pleased to see him use that Hokuto costume as well.
Of course.
You've been campaigning for.
I have, yes. I've been still hoping for the character. You know, Street Fighter 6, baby. Let's go. But that's a great moment from Tony. We're going to move on now to the winners final, and we have to talk about the one and only Dark Jaywa. Dark isn't there anymore, but it just sounds so good. I've got to keep saying it. It's just, it rolls off the tongue.
He doesn't he count as Dark Jaywa when he uses the Akuma costume and does the code to be the top comes off.
Yeah, all right, cool. Bless.
The hidden power.
I like that. So when he's Poison or Standard Akuma, he's Jaywa, right? He's IG, Alice Jaywa.
You know, the friendly world warrior.
Yes. Happy days, guy. That's who he is. Listen, I want to actually talk about Jaywa's attitude towards the game in general and his strategy in general. He's got a very kind of like, I guess you could call it disrespectful, but I'd call it more impose your will kind of on your opponent. And if you can, if you can, don't respect your opponent's, positive or advantageous situations. And there was a lot of scenarios throughout his entire run where his opponent put him in what is really a disadvantageous a position of disadvantage, and he just kind of said, I don't care. He's just like, the fact that you're in this advantageous position, I'm not going to let you have it, and he'd just make a wild decision or take a bit of risk. He'd extend when he almost didn't need to extend at times as well. And we'll talk about that as well. But I found it extremely effective against his opponents. They didn't really have an answer for it, and they all got caught by what he did, because it was done at a time when I'm in such a good position, or you're in such a safe position you don't need to take any risk. It was just done at a very surprising time.
It's very interesting that you bring that up, because we're going to run the Champions interview that we did do with Gachikun a little later on in the show.
Yeah.
He actually speaks in a kind of similar way of, playing too safe and playing by the numbers. And it would cause me to play timidly and I'd lose. But freeing himself up, and, you see players like Idom do that as well. They're terrifying, because not only do you have to play by the numbers, you also have to play by them not respecting the numbers as well.
Exactly.
So, and we'll see this in this example.
Idom's a great example. I can't remember the exact situation, but there was a situation where he was close to stun, his opponent did like a fierce into activation. And he just started, you could tell he was literally just mashing jab. And his opponent went for some kind of frame trap, just got counter hit, jab, medium, knockdown. I was like, whoa, wait a sec. That was like the last. And Laura doesn't even have a reversal, but he just said, you know what? I'm not going to respect your situation here. I know you're going to overextend. But let's take a look at this scenario here. It's a QQ, my pick to win the tournament. Really, really sad to see him go out, but Jaywa was super impressive against him, made it very hard. I think it was 3-1 in the end. And you're going to see a situation there where he activates the V trigger, right? And that's what he's looking for first. I'm talking about actually QQ's V trigger activation. So he's been knocked down here. Blocks that. It's not positive when the fireball hits that high. He's activated on block. Straight away. Look at that choice. Logan. So, and look at this. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't
understand either of those.
I cannot respect your advantageous situation.
What do you do there?
I don't know, Logan. I don't know. But he did this throughout the tournament. He was just very hard to anticipate, and he'd overextend. Like that second mirror, look at that, he just +3. Look, and he anti-aired that, and I want to talk about that as well. But straight away you see him he blocked the EX knee drop, and that didn't even look like a delayed crouch. Like that looked instant. You know what I mean? Like I know you're scared of my DP. I'm just going to press my light kick.
That's definitely an example of just no respect at all. I'm going to press the full frame.
It was really just the theme of his play, Logan, like throughout. And Gio's known for this anyway. It's not a surprise, but it's not just like he's just busting out DPs, which we're going to look at as well, by the way. But he's doing really obscure stuff, like he's wasting a bar on an EX Tatsu off a blocked mirror activation. Demon Flip, obviously an extremely fair airborne projectile invincible command grab. Understandably, that got him around the second mirror, but he didn't need to do that. He was a neutral with a life lead, so it caught QQ off even more, because it was like, what are you doing, you madman? You know what I mean? But then when you look at the punish that he got on the Demon Flip later, he does a Demon Flip in neutral, and QQ does the Coral Punch. What's he lose there? Like 60 damage? Because if you don't intercept the Demon Flip airborne, you're in a mix-up, right? You're in a mix-up. The EX Demon Flip, you're in a mix-up. You don't know what he's going to come down with. Not every anti-air answers it. So if you don't meet it in the air, you're in a mix-up. So the fact that Urian's reward is like 60, 70 damage, whatever he gets for like a Coral Punch.
Or like a crazy hard read Crouch Fierce that's going to lose to air fireball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you make a big bet and you get, you know what I mean? You can understand why Jaywa did this. And Jaywa, the grand finals is just littered with these crazy surprise decisions. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I wanted to highlight that moment between these guys. And he kind of continued on, actually. If we go forward here a little bit, you're going to see just what I'm talking about. And I have to point out, this is the very next round. He's only 1-0 up here. It's a very clutch situation here for QQ. There's that EX Demon Flip. It's worked out again. Yep, gets him in. Activates. V reversals. Okay, I'm not taking your pressure. I don't respect. I'm not interested. I'm not interested, mate. I'm just gonna take big gambles, you know. And it's not over yet, Logan. Second mirror out. Fireballs. I'm loving this neutral attempt here from Jaywa. Just
the space on that fireball was sick as well. I don't know if you.
Did you see that? It was just beautifully spaced. Just before the mirror, before it activated for the mirror reverse. Big opening now. Big opening. Blocks it out. Okay, I know you're disrespecting me. Now you're dead. Now you're.
Don't need meter for that one.
That was a big round. That's 2-0 Jaywa. Could have been 1-1 QQ in a very different set altogether. And you know, it was kind of just. I don't think this is a style that will necessarily win him Capcom Cup, but man, it is a style that's definitely going to knock out, fluster, really trouble some of the guys in there
as well. Because if you look at the first EXDP that you did in that sequence after the activation,
that's kind of guaranteed, wasn't it? I think it was kind of guaranteed. In my head, I thought that was a clever. In my head, I thought that was a clever DP. I thought, nice one, nice good choice.
He wouldn't have died from the mix-up that he'd have had to take after the punish combo as well, because it would have used up the Aegis.
Yep.
So, like, he had the life to make that gamble, and if it hit, he'd have won. And he just doubled down on it, which is the crazy thing, obviously. But, you know, it doesn't stop being a correct read when you, especially because in that last situation, QQ didn't really have resources left
to kill, right?
Kind of had to pressure to keep the momentum going. You see that from great players, right? They can smell when you're desperate and you need to keep your turn going.
He's got great instincts for these choices he makes. And on that scenario, it was typical Akuma stuff. He's whipping out the DPs, but the round before it was surprise demon flips and the X Tatsus on negative frames. So a very, very difficult guy to read. You know what? Not too dissimilar from Takamura. I'm going to say Takamura is a bit cleaner in terms of overall Akuma play, but Takamura makes some crazy, sick and wild decisions too, like when he's in certain scenarios. So these guys are going to make some of the top, more like extremely like solid based and fundamentally sound players a bit uncomfortable, I think, at Capcom Cup. I'm really keen to see who they get matched up with.
Especially the ones that are sort of used to studying or playing against Takido, who has such a fundamental style of Akuma, you know. He doesn't take to the air too much. He will stay on the ground and play that crouching medium kick, standing medium kick game over and over and over.
He'll do that, he will for long periods of time,
And then you've got guys doing full screen EXD flip.
unless Takido's up against Fudo's birdie. I mean, that's the most I've ever seen the guy jump. He's just holding up forward the entire round. It is the matchup. I agree. Yeah, it is. So look, Logan, we had some serious MVP performances. We already called out Tony. I've given it away now. Tony, who was stunning. Wei Li played insanely well as well. Clutched it out in a massive match against Yang Man. That a lot of people had Yang Man winning, and he was able to win that in the end. But we'd be crazy not to give some love to the finalist, who, despite an anticlimactic final, had an incredible run to get there. And this is a guy, again, I hadn't heard of before this tournament. So I'm super impressed with the China scene. We're talking about Xiaobao, and we're going to go into his match against Tony, which is the loser semi-final. And I want to highlight this guy's Aegis hit rate, conversion rate, deadly, ready for everything play. Because this guy's Aegis, every round was like this. Look at the domination here from Tony. Huge life lead.
Ooh,
terrible whiff, but well punished. Now, what's next, Logan?
You're still all right, though. You're still okay.
You're completely fine. Raw Mirror tried to wake up with a fist. What are you doing? Don't disrespect me. I've got one more bet. Then, to be fair, that whole sequence was not just Aegis. Aegis obviously set it off, but that was just Tony kind of capitulated there, didn't he? He kind of had a brain fart, I'd say, in that particular scenario. Unless you think something else happened there. Maybe you tried to do EX for Senha and wake up. I don't know what that crowd's fierce was.
Yeah, a lot of the times in those situations when you see a player wake up with a crouching heavy button, it's V reversal. You'll see that with sweep.
Of course,
as well. Because they'll V reversal with down forward, which is probably why you saw crouch fierce there, like literally a preemptive desperation V reversal in that stun situation. But there is certainly no shortage of excellent Urian play to be had this weekend, though, right?
Well, we knew it coming into the region, right? After the top 3 finish from, was it Du Chen Q, Xiao Bao, and QQ at the last China Major. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, and as expected. We want to continue, though, because there's a theme you're going to notice developing here, Logan, in this set. And unfortunately, it is at the expense of poor Tony, who's not playing bad at all. He's just getting mirrored to death. So we're going to go to the next round, and we see another decent round from Tony. He's got some momentum on his side, goes for the safe jump. And, you know, just watch out for those 3 bars on the bottom left-hand corner, because they are the problem in this particular set. Gets that jump short, perfectly spaced, and gets an opening. Now look at this setup. What's it going to be, Logan? What's it going to be? Oh! And he's got the meter as well, mainly because he didn't need to use the meter from the last round, so he kept that meter in stock. But my goodness, the dash underneath with the frame advantage enough for the crouch fierce. It's just a hideous situation for Tony, who had 2 really good rounds, suddenly finds himself
I'm not going to lie,
down.
like, watching it back, it looked kind of bait, but it is online.
Well, it's not bait, though, because I don't think you can visibly react to that dash, because you're getting hit before the dash recovers. So it's faster. The actual mix-up is faster than the dash, right? So I don't think you're visibly going to react to that dash. If he just does a stutter, you're going to hold the other direction as well, which is what happens all the time in these 50-50s.
Like, so if he just dips down, we've played enough sets. You've definitely got me like, oh, you're just blocking cross up every time I move in this bomb setup. Okay.
Yeah. Because you're human, you know. I mean, is what I'd say.
It is what it is.
But yeah, actually, you know what? I can see that, Logan. I think in comparison to some of the stuff we're about to see, yeah, maybe that wasn't that great. Let's go to the next round, because this theme is not ending. So once again, you're seeing some decent play in the moment coming up from a good count hit confirmed from Tony, trying to get his game going. Wasn't sure what side that was going to hit on, got hit in front. Safe jump, empty. Look at this flow and sequence, everything hitting. Tony, surely now you're going to finally take your first round of this set. Why does that EX Terrier tackle hit ahead? Why? Oh no, it's a throw. Okay, no, you're still in there. Oh no, what are you pressing?
Bam.
What are you pressing? Aegis again. He's lost another round to Aegis, to the Aegis.
You have to take that throw there. You have to.
Yeah, but so admittedly, there's some bad decision making and some panic coming into play for Tony here, as this set is going on, right? Especially as he's had so many. Because I think for him, it's like, am I going to lose this round again? You know what I mean? And it's really affecting him mentally. And as we'll speak to Gachikun later, and you guys will see, it's so important to maintain your game plan no matter what the life deficit or situation is. It's so important, because you're not making bad decisions or not reacting to stuff you should have seen coming, and then that happens, right? So it's a bit of both. The Aegis is putting him in these terrible situations, also bad decisions, and then obviously great, unforgiving play from Xiao Bao to give him 3 rounds now straight, all with Aegis Reflector. So the V-Trigger's doing a lot of work for him. So we're going to round 4, and, you know, I'm happy to tell you guys there's a different theme here. Not. It's going to be the same scenario. You're going to see a great neutral jump there from Tony.
He's going to take him corner to corner again.
Takes a big bet on the throw bait.
There's 2 bars.
Oh, baby.
There's 3 bars.
Horrible defense, by the way, from Xiao Bao. I mean, he's
seen this movie before.
Okay. This time he goes up and catches him with a meaty crouch fierce on his wake up. I know you're in a V reversal mode. You just tried it earlier.
Oh my God, that hit.
Die. The jump short just connects.
That crouch fierce, like that hit like a ST Ryu DP from the deck.
Brutal, Logan. That's 4 rounds straight with Aegis. I love that activation, by the way, the dash up crouch fierce. I think he was anticipating the backdash with that. Urian has started doing that now because it catches you airborne.
Yeah.
And you get both hits. But also that V reversal kind of mood he was in, because at this point you've been hit by the mix-up, right? You've been caught by the counter hit. You're probably going to chill and try to... It was a great read to say you're probably going to chill and try to V reversal me now. But this is the one V trigger in the game where you can lose a ton of health for doing one of the safest defensive options in the game, which is V-reversaling, because the throw leads to extra damage, so he gets punished big time for that. We go into another round here now. By the way, just to highlight, great 2 rounds from Tony. He has taken the game at this point, but every round he's lost so far has been to Aegis Reflector. So, you know, that anti-air crouch jab attempt from Xiaobao doesn't work out. Intercepts that frame trap, and you're going to see now he's got the bars, baby. He's got the bars. Poorly spaced jump. Great time dash for Xiaobao. Goes behind. Activates. Where you jump into?
That was like Nemo kind of stuff, bro. That auto-correct crouch fierce. Very nice.
You know what's quite harsh about this whole scenario, and I guess you could say it's harsh, but it's also kind of, and we'll let it play out because you know now we see a round where you don't need Aegis Reflector. Finally, Xiaobao decides I can win rounds without V trigger, and that's what he goes and does in this round. But prior to that, what I really liked about that whole situation was that every defensive option you could think of, Tony tried it at some point against all those. He lost to five rounds to Aegis Reflector, and he tried a different thing every single time. But he just happened to be a bit too predictable for Xiaobao standard. Had the read on him every time.
Read's just all right. Like, sometimes it's your day, and that's kind of what this format is. Oh, damn, yeah, you can't be reversal that.
No, so good.
Bear plus, and again,
Bear plus again.
Bagger plus, and you can't V reversal.
Yeah, he was very good at reading when the V reversal was the option, and a very, very dominant win. But a slightly deceptive scoreline at the same time. It seems dominant in scoreline, but actually there were so many rounds that really Xiaobao should have lost.
Built, bruv.
Yeah.
Character's built.
Well, he wins free. Have you saw with QQ? He wins without Aegis as well. So he's one hell of a character.
He can do, but the reason why he's so feared is definitely because he's got one of the top V triggers in the game. I have to give credit to VX Bao as well, because he doesn't even main this character.
That's a really good point, right? If we were looking at his history when his name came up from Wei Li, and all of his matches were with long time ago, I think Claw, and then M Bison, all M Bison, you know. So he can't have been playing Urian that long. But yet this guy's like a walking encyclopedia of Aegis setups. Fair enough, there was some...
I mean, Wei Li did say that he thinks he's a genius. You know, he's got a bunch of characters
say that, yeah.
He plays at a high level. Like, I think did he say he uses Gil as well and Seth, I think?
He mentioned a few characters, yeah. I see it because he can't have been playing Urian for that long based on what I've seen of his archives online. I mean, this guy's a fairly new Urian, maybe a year in, and maybe his neutral game and that isn't that great. But you know what? I didn't put any highlights of this, but even his neutral game is pretty sound because QQ himself, arguably the best player in China right now, couldn't get any momentum on Xiaobao in that mirror match. Xiaobao dominated in neutral, dominated in V-trigger setups. You know,
that would be an interesting set to just analyze all on its own in full, like on a watch along. But I know you've got you've edited down your selections this week, and we've got one more to get through. So I'm assuming we're going to go to grand finals.
Let's go to grand finals. Yeah, and I really want to talk about this sequence because it kind of epitomizes not only the play that got him to grand finals, but the play that he used to dominate grand
as well.
Finals. Yes, Dark Jaywa is activated. Here he is. And it was that aerial approach and just mixing up his game and not respecting advantageous situations. So demon flip, kick. That anti-air doesn't work in that scenario. Bad choice. He's going to jump again. No, I'm not going to let you do anything that could be advantageous. Great tech, still in the game? No, this time it's demon flip.
I've never seen that move lose in the air before in my life.
It was counter hit as well, so I don't know what he went for at the end. It couldn't have been Devil's Reverse, right?
Head stomp, wasn't it? EX head stomp.
But we can't.
On the way up.
Yeah, but he counter hit. He should have been able to turn it into. Well, I guess he would have known. If he'd have known, he would have gone straight into Devil's Reverse straight away, but he didn't know. Yeah. Bad choices. Listen,
I don't think I've ever seen that move lose on the way up.
It doesn't.
It did. Really impressive stuff to make that comeback without using the V trigger as well.
Yeah,
because he basically used it, threw the fireballs away, and still had half the life left to make up on pixel health. Really impressive.
Yeah, and there were some good moments as well from Xiaobao, but he just couldn't get going, man. He just couldn't get going. I think the word I probably use is he was kind of like flustered. I feel Jaywa kind of really intentionally. Maybe he knows him well and knows how to throw him off his game. Because every game up to this point I'd seen Xiaobao play, he looks ridiculous. The guy looked so good, and maybe that's because he's a bit of a Urian main now. Maybe his Bison's a bit rusty. I like the Bison pick for Akuma. You know, if you're not comfortable with Urian.
Let me give someone credit, because we always see him on Twitter. Every single time, he loves to post Same players doing well offline, doing well online. Al-Makashi always says it. And he tried to bring up Dark Jaywa as an example. Sorry, Jaywa as an example. And we kind of, a bunch of us argued back and forth about it. Because Jaywa won an event in 2016 playing Ryu, I think it was.
I don't know about this, though. No way. What was that?
He won an event in Chile in 2016.
Wow.
Season 1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he hasn't won an event since. So it's not like he's a prolific player. But I want to go to this point, and it to give him his credit, and it ties in what you're saying. He has unlimited offline experience against some of the best players in the world. And with that comes a tremendous amount of psychology in your gameplay. And that is the sort of thing that allows you to take advantage of these players in these tense situations, like a grand finals where it's winner takes all. You can start imposing your will, start making people second guess themselves, start making people, make bad decisions and really take advantage of it and make comebacks like that. You make a comeback like he did there, it's got to be like such a psychological break, like a mental guard break for VX Bauer in that situation.
I love it. I really love that, Logan. I can't stress enough how accurate you are with that, because there are things that happen when you get exposed to enough high-level players for a long enough period of time to you strategically and psychologically, where you find yourself in the same scenario you've been in a million times, and you're just 9 times out of 10 you're going to deal with it better than anyone who's not been exposed like you have. And that happened throughout this tournament. You could even argue, and this might be a bit of a bold statement, but even the way he was able to beat QQ, we weren't expecting him to beat QQ to that level of dominance. Even that, I would attribute slightly to his well-traveled experience and exposure. And this is not a guy who travels to tournaments and then goes around tourist sites and enjoys the scenery. This guy is in hotel rooms left, right, and center. You go anywhere, you're going to find Jaywa when he's at these events. He's looking money matching, playing, always looking for characters, calling guys out. I want to play Latif. I want to play F1. I want to play. Where are they? Where are they? And he comes up to you and he's like, could you help me find them? You're like, okay, cool. Hey, finishes with that guy. Now take me to RMZ's room. I want to play this guy. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let's go. The guy's just there to play. And you know what? I have to say, how ironic that a guy that you mentioned, I didn't know he won that event in 2016, by the way. Great shout. A guy who hasn't won an event since 2016, who... If there's a top 10 most traveled, most attended player globally,
it's Jaywa, Punk, Jaywa.
He's got to be there. He's got to be in the top 3 even, right? This guy is everywhere, right? And he didn't qualify ever. And suddenly, this year, stuck at home in his boxer shorts, he has qualified for Capcom Cup for the first time.
That's what he needed.
The work has paid off.
He needed to just be with his family.
That's it. That
World
power
warrior,
up.
Traveling around everywhere. We said this earlier on in the show. Maybe that's just all he needed. He just needed to be at home with the wife and kids, moral support, and now he's there at the big show. It's an awesome story. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he competes. Thank you again, though, for your insight. Really interesting as always.
Thank you for yours, Logan.
You guys at home, you can watch back yourselves, the archives. They're there on Twitch and YouTube. You can check them out. Capcom Fighters, you should be following already. We're going to be back on the other side of this short break. More content to get through as well. We've got that player interview with the champ, not this week's champ, the last champ, Gachikun, ready for you, subbed, not dubbed. You can enjoy that and lots of other stuff. We'll be looking at Street Fighter League. Clip that is back again. Don't go anywhere. Short break and we'll be back on the other side.
The curtain falls.
I'll take you downtown. That's how you start the fight and finish it quickly.
Let's have some fun.
Let me zap you. Here we go. That's that.
Terrific win! beyond the battle.
Get ready!
Destroy! Begin!
Let's go!
Disappear! Kneel!
You do not have the strength to crush the spirit of the king.
Alright! I really like to exercise. And training is a lot of fun.
Time to meet your death, vile insect.
Pull out all the stuff!
Hadouken! Witness the power of the continent. This is the power of the king.
Paraneuro device expansion completed. Pseudo personality asset is imported properly. Biological brain connected. DOM unit 0. Startup sequence will begin.
Well now, little piece of junk. Time to wake up.
DOM unit 0. Activated.
Well, Julie, who is a piece of junk? You idiot! Show me everything. Show me everyone. Show me everything.
Installed.
Show me something worth taking. Your data is now useless. Witness the power of the continent. This is the power of the king! Your data will reside in me for eternity.
Welcome back to Fighting Words, and what a night it's been so far. It's only going to get better as we take a look back now, Logan, at the hero, the victor, not the victor from this week, because we have to get these interviews translated, but what a guy. Your most recent qualifier before the China CPT was obviously Asia East 2, Gachikun, baby, and we got some words from the champ himself, haven't we?
That's right, flying high with a series of ever-improving results. Second at the J Esports Union Grand Prix, losing to Fudo. Went on better and won the CPT East Asia 2. Currently, I think in top spot with Nemo Aurora in Sfl
Nemo Aurora
Japan,
looking really good.
We're going to see a little bit later on. But yeah, what a great year he's having. Not reached the heights of his 2018 Capcom Cup win, of course, but it's great that he's back there. And as you said, we were able to get an interview with him. We were able to get it translated. Thank you very much to Red Bull, Anna specifically, for helping make this happen.
Big up Anna and the Red Bull team.
Gachikun's management. But here you go. Let us hear from the man himself, the second Japanese player in attendance, joining Daigo at Capcom Cup. Here is Red Bull's own Rashid specialist, Gachikun. Here we go.
ありがとうございます。まあ今年は、カプコンカップが、コロナの影響で、世界で予選がね、行われなくなったということで、で、カプコンからこの、新しいルールとして、各地区で代表2名を決めるっていうレギュレーションになったんですけど、基本的には普段と取り組み方は特に変えずに、でも一応コロナっていうことでオフの対戦にも行けなくなって、家での練習はかなり質を上げるというか、自分に合ったような練習環境にはかなり変えていきました。でその中で、例えばモニターの、品質を上げたりだったりとか、レバーを自分が使いやすくするとか、そういうところを結構変えたりとかしましたし、練習はでも基本的にはやっぱりトッププレイヤーだったり自分が困ってるキャラを対策するっていうのを重点的に練習はして、で大会には挑みましたね。はい、じゃあ質問に答えます。前回のジェスで2位を取れたんですけど、今年の成績は個人的には今のところかなりすごい良くなってきてるなっていうのがあって、ただやっぱり去年1年通してなかなかいい結果が出ず、で今年も前半の方はそんなにいい結果は出とらんかったんで、何がダメかなっていうのをいろいろ考えながら、でいろんなキャラクターとやるようになって、でいろんな人の意見も聞くようになって、自分の足りぬところはやっぱり大会とか試合でなかなかきついと思っとったところで、割り切れんかったり強気な行動を取れんっていうのがやっぱ敗因につながっとったなっていうふうに思ったんで、負けるんであってもやっぱり攻めて負ける、勝負をしに行って負けるっていうスタイルに結構切り替えたのが、今回すごい刺さったというか、大会に勝てた大きな要因になったのかなっていうふうには思います。ラシードはもちろん調整を毎年受けて少しずつ弱くはなっていけようかなっていうふうに思うんですけど、それでも一応手数は多いキャラクターなんで、そこのそこで勝てるかなと思っとったんですよ。ただ今ってプレイステーション4が、今まで当たり前だったのがパソコン版になって、どんどん反応できる速度とかも変わってって、やっぱラシードって手数が多い分相手にちょっと差し返しを狙いづらかったりとか、そういう反応面でちょっと相手を困らすようなことができとったんですけど、そこがちょっとしづらくなったなっていうのと、ラシードのキャラパワーがちょっと落ちてきた。で他のキャラクターのキャラパワーが上がったっていうのでちょっと勝ちづらいなっていうふうには思ってます、ラシードは。ただその中でも一応ラシードがきつくなったなっていうのをちゃんと自分で受け入れて、その中で勝っていけるように戦い方を変えたりっていうのをめちゃくちゃ研究はしてます。はい、そうですね、直近で、フードさんにジェスの大会で負け取ったっていうのはかなり今回の CPT で勝てた一つの要因になるんかなと思っとって、もともと V リバーサルっていうのは対策としてあったんですけど、ジェスの時は使えんくて、で対策もバレると弱いんですよ。弱いっていうかバレたら、反撃をもらうんですよ、ポイズンに。ただもともと僕はこのマッチアップ、ポイズンとラシードってマッチアップはラシードがちょっときついかなって思ってる組み合わせで、その中で安定志向でいくと絶対そのまま負けるなっていう イメージがあったんで、じゃけ少しでもリスクを背負ってちゃんとダメージを取れる風にせんと、多分こういう組み合わせが勝てんのんじゃなっていうのは思ったんですよ。なんであそこで V リバーサルを使うっていうのは僕の中では全然不正解じゃなくてもう正解であって、じゃあ仮にあそこで相手が V リバーサルに対して何もしてきませんってなると、一回相手がそこで動きが止まってラシードが相手に攻めを仕掛けるチャンスが増えるっていう風に考えると、リスクを背負ってでもリターンがちゃんと生まれるんであれば俺はいいんかなっていう風に思って、ああいう選択肢を取り入れるようにしました。はい、まあ今シーズンのセスはやっぱり、各プレイヤーが言うようにすごい高水準のキャラクターなんかなっていう風に思うんですけど、それでもやっぱり体力がセスは少ない分、ミスが許されんっていうことなんですよね。ミスをするとやっぱり、痛い反撃を食らって、ね、体力が奪われるんで、一応セスを使っとる方もかなり繊細な動きを求められるんかなっていうふうに思って、しかもそれが大会だとなおさら、ミスるとやばい。で、動きが、縮こまってしまって、セスの良さが出せんっていうのが多いと思うんですけど、桃地さんはね、そこら辺全然感じさせませんでしたね。で、やっぱラシードとセスのマッチアップは、これまたセスが有利なのかなっていうふうに思ってて、このシーズンが始まってからはセスは重点的に対策はしとったキャラの一つなんで、でそのキャラの対策がすごい今回の CPT の決勝で、引き出せたかなっていう。やっぱ桃地さんももちろん足寄せうまいんですけど、僕も僕で佐古さんだったりいろんなプレイヤーのセスと練習は普段しとったんで、いろんな対応もできとったし、まあ先にリーチかけられましたけど、リーチってあれかリセットされましたけど、全然気持ち的には動揺せずに、むしろなんかこうしたらこうしようっていうのがすぐ出てきたんで、それがまああそこで勝ち切れたね一つのキーなんかなというふうには思います。そうですね、ストリートファイターリーグか。ストリートファイターリーグでは、まあ、サガットとカリンを使っとって、もともとね、サガットは、今回ね、今言ったそのセスに対して、ラシードよりかはいけるんじゃないかなって思って、ちょっと練習はしとったんですよ。で、カリンは前回の、ストリートファイターリーグで、一応サブキャラとして使っとったんで、まあ、自然的に使うよなって感じで、この2キャラを使ってました。ただやっていくうちに別にセスはサガットじゃなくてラシードでもいけるなって感じて、そっからはねセス戦はラシードでやるようになりましたね。まあ、ラシードが苦手なマッチアップは個人的には、ガイル、セス、ポイズン、ユリアン、アビゲール、ゴーキ、まああたりですかね。まあ降臨とかも入ってくるんですけど、まあそれでもなんかまだやっぱラシード自体がほんまに戦えんぐらいなキャラクターではないんで、一応プレイヤーの頑張りでなんとかなるかもしれんなっていうのが現状ラシードにはあるんで、なんでそこをなんかあえてもうそのきついけどダメじゃなくて、もう1キャラはやっぱり5年も使っとんで、まあ、そこのなんか自信もあって、ちょっとなんとかできんかなっていう気持ちで今は挑んでます。今シーズンカプコンカップ、そうですね、まあプレッシャー自体は最後の予選かなりありました。まあ大会自体が今年すごい少ない中で、しかもその枠が2個しかない大会に参加するっていうのは、多分僕以外の選手もすごいプレッシャーだったり緊張あったと思っとって、僕なんかも今回の予選は2日通して全然飯が喉を通らんし、なんならずっと吐き気が止まらんような感じで、もうねすごいプレッシャーはあったんですよ。ただなんか今回はもう結果論になってしまうんですけど、一応なんか自分めちゃくちゃここに向けて練習しとったんで、すごい僕が優勝した時のイメージをなんか試合前にめちゃくちゃできとって、なんかそれはなんかね 良かったなっていうふうに思います。そこが逆にそのプレッシャーの中でも落ち着いて試合をできたかなっていう感じしますね。はい。プラシーボです。個人的にはやっぱカプコンカップっていうね、大会に今年は出たことない選手も多数出とる中で、対戦したい人は高村とかはね、僕すごい対戦したいと思うんですよ。プレイヤー自身すごい熱いし、で勝つためにいろんなやっぱり手段をちゃんと試合の中で取ってくる、もうその勝ちへのがむしゃらさが僕はすごいいいなと思って、高村とやりたいなっていうふうには思ってます。ただやっぱり参加したことない選手、したことある選手っていうくくりになるとそうなんですけど、でもやっぱなんか自分の持ってきたものをちゃんとその対戦相手にぶつけたいんで、そうですね、みんなとやりたいって言ったらちょっと平和的になってしまいますけど、でも高村ですかね。高村とやってみたいなと思います。練習内容は多分ね、そんな変えんのんですけど、でも、多分もう、自分が入るグループは、発表されとんで、G、インフェクシャス、メナ、スマックが今確定どるのかな。なんで G、ゼク、アビゲール、バーディ、バイソンあたりはめっちゃ練習はします。ただ、日本だと結構これのキャラクターは一応練習はできるんで、逆にあっちはね、ラシードとかって対戦できんのんじゃねえかなと思っとって、そういう意味ではなんかある程度こっちも秘策はいろいろと持っていこうかなっていうふうには思っていますんで、お楽しみにしとってください。ストリートファイターリーグはやっぱネモ社長筆頭にネモオーロラが雰囲気もかなりいいんかな、いいよくてでなんかね、ネモさんはすごい選手にのびのびと映像ではのびのびとさせてくれとるふうに見えませんけど、全然裏ではね、やっぱなんかのびのびとやらせてくれとんで、もちろんそのネモさんからの指令はあるんですけど、でもその指令はなんかすごい分かりやすいんで、こっちも練習の時にすごいやりやすいんで、そういう意味ではね、やっぱすごいネモさんはいいリーダーだなっていうふうに思いますし、サコさん、僕、キチパ含めそこに異論はないと思います。絶対です。なんで今こうやってますけど、こういう状況のチームっていうのはやっぱりすごい勝つなっていうイメージがあるんで、今後お楽しみにしていただければなというふうに思います。よろしくお願いします。
Great to hear from Gachikun. Really happy that we could bring you that interview, even though it wasn't same week. We got it there in the end, and of course it will live forever on the archive on YouTube and Twitch as well, so you can check that out at your leisure. But very insightful words there from Gachikun. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I love the way he thinks. This is a former Capcom Cup champion, but still always trying to better, always trying to improve himself. Before I continue with the compliments, though, I have to say, Jaleche and Gachikun, you guys stop talking crap, all right? Because Rashid is fine, okay? I'm hearing these guys talking about it's a bit more uphill, it's a bit more difficult. And they're saying this stuff after they win events as well, both of them. Like, yeah, all right, it may be a bit more difficult, but, the character still kicks absolute butt. So, I'm not going to hear any of that from you, Gachikun, but congratulations. I think... I couldn't resist. I think he played incredibly well. Is this gonna kill? No, but seriously, his strategy and his choices building up to the tournament as well. One of the things I've had a hard time with in a game like Street Fighter 5 is you can die so quickly on decisions that are kind of like universally bad, or any character could have done it to you, that it can be kind of like you can find yourself in a smoke screen as to why you're losing to certain characters. So firstly, identifying that actually this character is the issue for me. I'm in this situation consistently because I can't get out of this. I'm finding myself in this position against this character. So he's very good at obviously identifying that, which he should be, but then taking the time and effort to train with the relevant guys in his local scene or online to get him that matchup experience, and it really showed. His performances against Sfs in general, such a new character in a matchup that we've seen other Rashids really struggle in, was really impressive for this tournament. So it clearly showed paid dividends.
If you're going to get Seth experience, then Japan is probably the best region to be in. There's certainly a lot of them there. I was really impressed by sort of the way that he, we've heard a lot of players make peace with the CPT online, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And, we accept what it is, and we do our best in those situations to retrain, to mitigate. And it's like Gachikun had a similar approach to character matchups, where he's like, I think this is an uphill matchup, but there are some things I can do that are risky, but if I just play timid and safe, I'll lose slowly, But if I take a risk here, if I make a gamble there, if I try and, throw my opponent off by mixing up stuff and catch them off guard, it's a winnable match. And as you say, Rashid has got an abundance of tools, and I don't think he's got any matchups that are just like hard losses.
Unwinnable, yeah.
They're not like hard losses because most of the characters that have an abundance of tools are able to use some of those tools to mitigate bad situations. But the mindset of accepting that if I play this matchup clean down the line, I'll probably lose, albeit closely, but I'll probably lose. All right, fair enough. I've had enough of losing, but closely. I'm going to start taking some risks and I'll start winning. And lo and behold, he has done. And I think in fighting games, especially ones in which you're put in situations where you do have to guess and make reads, that's a really strong mindset to have.
I think I can recall an actual example of this in a tournament as well. I know it was a couple of weeks ago now, but I'm pretty sure Takedo had a pretty decent lead against him in the Urian Rashid match. I think he was 2-0 up or 2-1 up at one point. And there was a couple scenarios in one round where he made a comeback where he did the forward medium into the EX spinning mixer on block, and it hit. These were risks that weren't necessarily needed. He wasn't in a terrible situation, but he did them just to maintain momentum, but also to let his opponent know, despite what's on the line here, I'm willing to play like this here and there. So respect me, kind of thing, And it allowed him to kind of insert his authority in the scenario where I felt like Takedo was kind of running away with that set at one point. He did so well to turn that around. And I think that's a classic example of what he spoke about there, where he finds himself at a disadvantage and then he becomes more reserved or more timid in his play, and it just allows his opponent to overwhelm him. Instead, he becomes more rago, a bit more calculated risk is implemented, and he was able to turn things around. So it's great observation and then great execution of strategy to get around that challenge that he's had, because it's clearly worked.
I think it's very interesting as well to hear how players are adopting more technology. And it's something we're kind of seeing now, that the play environment is your own environment. People are playing from home, competing from home. So they're in complete control. And I think it might have been Daigo that said this when we interviewed him previously, talking about the strain of traveling. But when I don't have to travel, I have the comforts of controlling my environment. There's not noise. There's not a crowd around me. I don't have to. There's no
lengthy flight that you have to be on
and stuff. Yeah, it's literally. And you heard Gachikun saying at the very start of the interview, now I'm training for this environment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Move to PC.
Got the new monitor.
Me to do certain things. It allows my opponent to do certain things as well in the Rashid matchup. But I'm training with that. I'm working with that. Something that I've seen a lot of Japanese players do. He talks about changing his lever. A lot of Japanese players have started using heavier weight springs in their arcade sticks because it returns the stick to neutral faster. So you're less likely to get accidental jumps or incorrect inputs, going from down back to forward and not going up. You'll get the inputs you want. And of course, famously, Daigo using the hitbox as well, feeling there's a advantage there. You're seeing more and more of this, players looking for every bit of competitive advantage that they can find, because this is serious business for them.
And there's some more competitive, obvious competitive advantages that Gachikun didn't allude to there, but that he clearly does. And this may sound like stating the obvious, guys. but you would be shocked how many players in maybe the top 100 in the world don't just sit down and watch their own matches. You'd be shocked, right? Because you can actually find that stuff out. If you look at Gachikun, what he's talking about, and the level of detail he's going into, and the matchups that he feels he has a hard time in, he's not figuring this stuff out in real time. There's no way he's sitting there in a tournament match saying this and then coming back, or in a set and then coming back and saying, man, I really need to learn how to fight Sfl. Maybe he is, but I feel like even the level of detail to where he says, when I'm at a life deficit, I find that I've become quite timid. This guy sat down and he's watched himself, and it's such an important thing to do, because when you got that high level mind like this guy, you know, you're gonna come up with the strategies and the answers, and you're always going to be at an advantage over someone who just isn't doing that. So, you know, and there's no level limitation to where you can start doing that, guys. So if you're playing this game and you're trying to improve and you can't figure out why, put the popcorn on, get yourself a cuppa, slap it on the TV. You'd be surprised how long you can spend watching your own matches and understanding yourself.
Really, really good bit of advice for intermediate level players that are frustrated that they're losing. Because you can get distracted by pivotal moments. A lot of people complain about V-trigger comebacks in this game. And yes, understandably, some of them are ridiculous, right? But there's a lot of times where you can watch your game back, and there's a number of other mistakes you made to get yourself to the position where that V-trigger combo killed you, or that one wrong guess killed you. And it's very easy to have that sort of bias where, oh, if only I'd guessed right here. Well, you actually made 4 or 5 bad decisions throughout the round that added up to you being there. And I think watching it back, you can be a bit more honest with yourself and kind of start to identify. If you're in a 50-50, then bruv, it's a 50-50. You got to guess, right? But if you identify yourself perhaps reacting poorly to certain things, go and lab it. If you find yourself being pressured by a certain situation and over and you don't know how to get out, go and lab it. If you see yourself playing timidly, you know, and scared, and start to notice these patterns, you can start consciously trying to change these things.
Consciously, yeah.
Definitely you'll see progress and positive change.
I believe so. Yeah, I really believe so.
Fascinating to hear from Gachikun. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he turns up with at Capcom Cup. Saying that he's looking forward to playing Takamura is a great thing to see. Of course, Takamura is so impressive at Red Bull Kumite, which feels like it was about 10 years ago, but it wasn't even a year ago now.
Yeah.
And how he's looking at his group already. Was it Infectious, Mena, and...
That group sounds ridiculous already. I can't remember what the other one was.
Can't remember the last, forgotten. But yeah, he's already looking at that and he's saying that, you know, I can get practice against all of those. It's going to be very hard for those guys to get high-level practice against Rashid in their area, which is a fair point. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how prepared Gachikun is when we get to Capcom Cup in a few months' time, because those changes that he's already making, you know, from month to month that we're seeing and implementing these matchups, it's going to be very exciting to see.
Yeah, it's already showing. So only going to be stronger come Capcom Cup finals. Will be a bit challenging to train against Mena, but there probably is an optimal player over each one of Mena's characters in the region in Japan.
15 of them.
Yeah, so he'll probably be prepared for that as well. I can't wait to see. Just a matter of time now, Logan.
Sorry?
Just a matter of time now, Logan, I guess you could say. Fingers crossed.
Ticking. Couple months until we're there. 2 more events to go, of course. We've got Australia and NA West 2 to come in the next 2 weeks. We're nearly there. We're nearly at the final hurdle. We're going to continue with the show, though. It's time for another one of your favourite segments.
What's that then?
High Fight has delivered again.
Yes.
4 of the best clips.
Let's do it.
Week. And it's time for you guys at home to determine which is your favourite. So, 4 clips that we've picked. I'm going to make the lead.
Okay, go on.
It's an interesting one for me to pick as well. My guy Punk, obviously a great stream. Love watching Punk stream. Always entertaining, hilarious, and you learn loads. Trying out that Seth V-Trigger 2
that you love so much. I'm sure you really enjoyed the execution of V-Trigger 2. Was it Sako at Sfl Japan this week as well? I'm sure you loved that moment where it just went flying into the abyss as Sako's head was pummeled into the corner and he died. I'm sure you really loved that.
Soon. But yeah, take a look at this. He has found a novel use. A very specific use. In
a use that V-Trigger 1 couldn't have done? Just so we're clear.
I think he probably could have done. But it looked cool. Let's check it out.
Okay.
Oh, let's go. Nah, what JB gotta say?
He was able to cancel.
Nah, I'm real deep.
Get over here. Where you going, JB? Where you going, bro? Where you going? Hey, it was appropriate. It was appropriate, man. Listen, I have to be honest. I'm going to be completely transparent with you, Logan. I do not know the inputs for that V-Trigger, so I don't know if he predicted that and he sent it in that direction, or it just happened to work out. But man, that looked sick. That looked sick.
Yeah, it wasn't like an enormous, massive punish, but it's like I like a nice chase down.
Yeah,
you know?
It's interesting to see you giving V-Trigger 2 a little bit of a highlight, even though I know you're going to say it's a terrible V-Trigger, and I agree with you. That I don't agree it's terrible.
It's terrible. No, I don't think it's
terrible, but I agree that V-Trigger 1 is significantly better.
V-Trigger 1 is where it's at.
Yes. But it's pretty cool to see every now and then. Well, I see your punk V-Trigger activation and read, and I raise you a hideously powerful combo from one of Dow's.
This must be Seth V-Trigger 1.
No, it isn't. No. Actually, a far much lower tier character according to the users of the character, actually. Maybe bottom 5 in their opinion.
Oh, it's a spooky V-Trigger combo.
You're an idiot. I got one of those too, by the way, not to give too much away. But it's actually Broski, our very own, in the UK, with this improvised, clearly by his reaction, this improvised optimal...
I'm hiding because the Dalsim down players are going to be...
Yep, exactly, here they come. A maximum damage combo, run that Broski combo, please.
Bro, this combo though. That was a nice combo until I got hit by Mika and probably lost the round. Okay, I might have to clip that round because that combo was kind of disgusting.
That was a Marvel combo.
Did you see the red? Seriously?
How many EX bars did that use? Like 6 EX bars.
Did he gain the EX bar mid combo like Marvel style? Maybe he did. Like seriously,
insane. Listen, to Broski's credit, he'll probably never land that in a real match again because the V skill 2 fireball bouncing off the stage and it was like a TAS desk combo. It was insane, but sick execution. You know what I love most about that clip? It's actually not the combo. Broski.
It's just Broski. I just love this guy. This guy. If you don't subscribe to Broski's stream,
it was great.
Please subscribe. He's just got such a it's like dry tone, incredible personality. Like if you just listen to tone alone, you'd think this guy's the most boring guy in the world. Yeah, actually, Dalsim is a pretty rubbish character. But when you actually listen to what the guy's saying, you die laughing. I could actually watch that guy stream for a long time. I love the fact that he lands that ridiculous combo. And like any Dalsim, his natural reaction, as soon as Mika just got a touch on anything, this is the part where I lose the round, because, Dalsim's so rubbish. I won the round. Oh, cool. Clip that, guys. It'd be nice if you could clip that for me. No, shout out Broski. That was awesome. That was a sick combo. Sick combo.
Sick. I've never seen that before in my life. So, yeah, shout out to Broski. Always delivering.
Juicy.
Let's flip the script.
Yeah, what else you got, Logan? Hit me.
Yeah, let's get some comic relief in here. Shout out to my guy Rob TV, absolutely crushing it right now on SFL on the hosting and interviewing duties. Big look for you. But he is still on the grind, and he is not afraid to try out new characters.
Okay.
Let's see what happens when his Honda clutches this round out. Oh. Sorry.
Hey, Rob, thank you for that. You right there, Logan?
Headbutt, bro.
Real life butt splash, mate. Yeah, all good?
Yeah.
You still with us?
Oh, just take the round. It's cool, bro. You don't have to play on. Don't worry about it.
Oh, fantastic.
hit that, though.
Fantastic. You know, I genuine enjoyment is always fun to watch, right? This guy's having a blast rocking that Honda. He's never been able to play the game with so little brain cells before. It's so refreshing for him.
I was just going to say, who's not having a blast playing with Honda? Oh, actually, Capcom released the online stats this week.
Oh, okay,
on Tuesday,
okay. I didn't see
for the
that.
month. For the month of October, they released the online stats.
Hit me.
Do you know which character had the highest win rate out of every character online?
Seth. Don't tell me it was Honda. You know what? I said already. I'm not even joking. The character's so... You know what? Let's not get into it.
Hey,
Let's not get into it.
I reckon if you try and guess the top 3 characters in terms of win rate online,
Yeah.
you would probably be able to guess them.
What?
Remember, this is at all levels as well, so like...
But win rate, these characters are actually winning like high percentage wins. Who else is like completely brain dead and just wins? Command grab characters, right? No.
Guess. Too much guessing.
Is it a Shoto? Is there a Shoto in there?
Don't be ridiculous.
Nah, I don't.
It's 3 really obvious characters.
Okay, Cammy then obviously is winning.
Oh,
loads, yeah.
way too much risk involved. You're thinking too high level.
She's just jumping, man.
You're thinking too many brain cells.
I give up. Who are the top 3?
E Honda.
Yeah, well, that was obvious.
Urian.
Oh, of course.
M Bison.
I was gonna say Bison actually. In my head, I was like, maybe Bison, because Bison just kind of wins, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting stats.
Yes, very interesting.
Ken's
stats.
way down, by the way.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yes, as imagined. That's
Probably because of me.
Well, to be honest with you, most of you Ken's 90% life lead, random DP and neutral doesn't really win the round.
Shut up. Get to your next one. Damn it.
Yeah. Rob TV, thank you for that moment. Really refreshed us. Listen, Logan, you've been chatting a lot of smack on Twitter, bro. You've been doubting my encyclopedia, bro. Yeah? It's time for you to start respecting the most optimal V-trigger in the Ibuki arsenal. That's V-trigger 1, and this is demonstrated by none other
than
the most optimal Ibuki around. Because there's only like 1 or 2 left, to be honest. Shen, show these guys how it's done, man. Blow some people up.
You think you can take the throw? No way. Clip it for me. Thank you.
F Word has been playing the long game for 4 years. 4 years. He has been hiding all of his V-Trigger 1 tech. And now he has gifted it unto Sien, who will be turning up at Capcom Cup and just using Seth anyway.
Yes. Pretty accurate. Listen, in my defense, right, and I've said this a million times, I have told you guys, the trolls aside, we know the more optimal V-Trigger is V-Trigger 2. Right? It's more optimal. It can whiff punish, it can anti-air. It's got too many use cases. It changes matchups, right? But V-Trigger 1, if V-Trigger 2 didn't exist, would be still a very good V-Trigger. I mean, you'd see it. It's probably a top 10 V-Trigger in the game. It's better than most V-Triggers in the game. So it's a ridiculously good V-Trigger. And I just love, me personally, I love V-Trigger 1 because I just love being plus. It's all about being plus, baby, plus. I'll tell you what's interesting about that clip, Logan, ironically. V-Trigger 1 is all about being plus, right? She had actually got the setup wrong. He actually did the medium punch, hard punch kunai on the setup. But if you actually watch that back, you'll see the EX kunai goes flying off to the other side of the screen. So there's no block stun. There's no block stun on that activation. And he does an entire dash, you know, and the Vega's like
minus a bajillion.
He's minus like double digits, and the Vega's like, oh my god, it's a bomb setup. What am I gonna do? You could have pressed a million buttons and you'd have been fine. And he gets thrown into the bomb. It's just brilliant, you know. I just love the fact that happened because people know the bomb is plus, so they just freeze anyway, like and Shen. I ended up getting a beautiful clip off the back of it, but he actually did the wrong setup. So yeah, no, but great play. And as you say, he will be bringing out Seth for the finals, no doubt. But you never know. Occasionally, here or there, if it goes wrong, you might see a little Ibuki whip out.
He's got a while, and he's having fun with it. His streams are amazing as well.
It is incredibly fun. It is a great.
As you
fun
said,
feature.
always streaming those pool matches as well that he pulls up from CFN. Some incredible. His brain is amazing as well.
Great insight from Sien always.
Absolutely, well worth watching and following Sien if you can. On Twitch.
Two of my favorite streamers in this clip part, Sien and Broski. Like, these guys are brilliant guys. So subscribe to both of them. Right, is that all we got for Clip That?
That is it from us. So if you want to vote for your favourite, you can do so right now. The poll will be on the Capcom Fighters Twitter, and they will have all the videos up there again, so you can watch them all at your leisure. Thank you once again to the best in the business, High Fight.
High Fight, baby.
Make sure you follow High Fight at High Fight TH on Twitter. You'll get a bajillion clips every day, always watching everything, ever vigilant, omnipresent. He's out there. And of course, check out Footsie's a great game as well if you want to work on your fundamentals. Ooh. We're going to be back after this short break because we still have to look at both SFL Pro Japan and SFL Pro USA this week. And we'll be looking ahead because CPT is flying down under to Australia, where we will determine another name attending Capcom Cup. And for the first time, an Australian is guaranteed to be there. Lots to look forward to. We'll be back after this short break.
I'll take you downtown. Boom! That's how you start the fight and finish it quickly.
Let's have some fun.
Let me zap you. Here we go.
Terrific wing! Go beyond the battle!
Get ready!
Destroy! Begin!
Let's go!
Disappear! Kneel!
You do not have the strength to crush the spirit of the king.
Alright! I really like to exercise. And training is a lot of fun.
Time to meet your death. 5 seconds.
Pull out all the stuff.
Hadouken! Witness the power of the continental. This is the power of the king.
Paraneuro device expansion completed. Pseudo personality asset is imported properly. Biological brain connected. Dom unit 0. Startup sequence will begin.
Well now, Little piece of junk. Time to wake up.
Logan at 0. Activate.
Well, Jordan, who is a piece of junk? You idiot! Show me everything. Show me everyone. Show me everything.
Installed.
Show me something worth taking. Your data is now useless. Witness the power of the content engine. Oh, this is the power of the king! Your data will reside in me for eternity.
Welcome back to Fighting Words. It's been quite an electrifying night with some amazing clips and some GGs all around. Of course, we've got the new qualifier in Jaywa making it all the way to Capcom Cup for the first time in its history. It's such an amazing evening. But guys, there's more. And there's actually quite a fair bit more. Street Fighter League is just about to peak. There's only a few weeks left in some of these matches we're going to see. And the most recent events we've seen here, we're going to start off with Street Fighter League Japan. And it is getting tight at the top of the table, Logan, isn't it? Super tight.
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter League Japan, very different format, 6 teams involved. So we get 3 sets each and every week on the show. If you're missing them, they are broadcast on a Friday on Capcom Fighters on Twitch and YouTube. And of course, they're archived there. Just check out the videos for the latest episode. This time round, we have got what are the fixtures? Takedo Flame against Momochi Splash. Takedo Flame flying high, 2nd place. Momochi needs to pull a result in. They're only in 5th. Not looking great for them.
Yeah.
Fudo dropped significantly. Fudo Gaia, they were top.
They were top. Ago. Yeah, for a couple of weeks they were top.
Now
and they had that one Taicho match that could have put them further top, and they lost it and got the 2-2, and they've been dipping ever since.
They're going up against last place Mago Scarlet. And then finally, we have Nemo Aurora, who are just flying.
Cruising. Ascending.
Colliding with Umahara Gold.
I think they're 3 points clear going into this weekend. 2 or 3 points clear at the top. But Umahara Gold right behind them.
Well, it's going to be very interesting because obviously we're in the second half of the season, which means all of the obvious bans have probably been made, meaning we're going to be seeing a lot more of Daigo's Guile. We're going to be seeing,
Fujimura's Chun-Li. That was getting banned a lot at the start. Seeing a bit more of that now.
Spoilers. Takedo getting to run his choice of character. It's a very interesting one this week, actually, because there's been a lot of bans and a lot of players that are able to pick their mains chose otherwise. We'll get into that. So let's look at the first matchup. Takedo Flame, as we said, doing very well in 2nd place. Their lineup was Takedo, Itazan, and Ryusei, which is probably their strongest lineup.
Yeah, I like
it. The ban that is affecting them and affecting them only, which again is another difference, is Abigail, which means that Itazan will not have access to Abigail. Momochi Splash went for a lineup of Momochi, Fujimura, and Johnny this time round, the young gunner. They have access to no Seth, so that's going to affect Momochi significantly. Meaning Fujimura can pick whoever he wants.
Yes, he can. Here's a long range of 2 characters these days, so we'll see which one it's going to be.
Storm Kubo once again sidelined. Agent Kubo with the emotional support.
Always.
Great value. Do you know, one of the things, as an aside, one of the things I like the most about SFL Japan is how much of the personality is coming out of the players.
Well, I love that in both SFLs. I think that's one of the great unique features, right?
Personalities of some of the Western players. because
yeah, but you see it in a, don't you feel like you see it in a slightly different light when it's like in this intimate team environment and they're uttering these little things under their breath? I mean, I guess they'd say that in a room anyway, right?
But I feel like I never see this or hear this from
Agreed. And I'll tell you what, there's been a few standouts as well, haven't there, Logan, in terms of personalities. We'll see more of it this week. But last week alone, you had Takedo saying he beats Mago 100 games straight. You had Mago saying he's going to turn it all around and he's going to be the hero and they're going to start making a comeback, and they lost. And Storm Kubo, without fail, every week is an entertaining character. I'm loving the personalities, man. It's a big, big plus as to why we tune in every week.
Let's take a look at the matchups, though. We've got Momochi going up against Itazan. No spoilers on the characters. Johnny against Tokido. Youth against Real Experience. And Fujimura against Ryusei as the final match. So let's check out the highlights and we'll be back on the other side talking about the result and some of the action that we see. Right here we go. Tokido Flame against Momochi Splash.
Momochi Splash! 先方桃地対時のフレーム先方板橋残儀風いってみましょうなったがそれでもフォローはしっかり板橋残儀風時間がなくなってきた両者この時間だとクリティカルアーツは薄いかいやーコーナー継続今度は逃がしたくない序盤のリーダー取れているお互い3本ありますから両方光り合った光り合いました板さんがもういい草を出しましたねはいここでダメージとして当たっていました嫌な時間が続いている板さんどうするかこの持ちさばききれるか逃げ切りたいところどこからこじ開けるかいやここは EX 所有権を警戒せずに倒しきることができる状況ではあるんですよねここはダメ見ていたここはしっかりボールして取ってかかってないですからの下振りにくいさあされば終わりうお一発ないですからこうなれば桃地もちょっと前で安いでしょうさあここ最後に取ったが桃地は見ていた取り返してまだ残っているうわここでかかと落とし両ゲージマックスどうだ何を狙う我慢前に来るしっかり打ち込んでいった最小限にダメージを抑えたりさあ一歩歩いてガードでうまく釣った形しっかりガード読み勝っているこれが板橋残儀風おもちスプラッシュ中堅ジョニー対時のフレーム中堅時のいってみましょうさあいい投げになったぞしかもプレジデントかかっているがジョニーも決断が早い様子を見てすぐ飛び込んできました時々にはエイジスがあるがまずはこの猛攻をしのがなくてはいけないかけていく連続プレジデントうまくいけばユリアンのエイジスを使わずに終わらせられる状況ですそこから押し返してしっかり見ている着地は隙を取っていたかわして無調使い切りますこれトリガーがなくなった上からチョップ一戦地球バンでリーチを伸ばしてとこれでしゃがみができない押していくここが攻め時スタンチが溜まっているチャンス逃すなミスうわこれで触っていったのでダメだ食らってきましたねそうですねここは鏡を自ら割ってそれゆえに上からの攻めは迎撃しまくっているさあしかしいい距離ですね無理やり発動無敵技を警戒しましたが投げ抜けしかしこの状況からでもチャンスは作れるのがこの G の強みしのげるか時々温存押し切れるかまだありますまだありますねタイマーがもうなくなるそうですねタイマーなくなりますねただスタンリーチこれはスタンまで届いているこれはこれフライなくない前にキープし続けているさっきはここから逆転がありましためちゃくちゃ投げてましたから再劇場となるかあまだ投げるんださあうまくいいですね位置も入れ替えられましたしジョニーがそろそろ V トがたまるんでそうですねバリアでもいいかというところですがカウンターさあここは発動させる前にしっかり倒しきるゲージは3つジョニーに勝機あり釣り圏内なのが怖い時とミスは許されないゲージ1本ありますねあこれ無理はよく見ていた空中くらいからの反撃 いけるか上綺麗に入って痛い一気に襲いかかる時々のイディアンこれリーチです抜けたうわーさあミスになる珍しいミスこれはジョニーとしては怖いぞ千載一遇のチャンスどうだ道を照らすことはできるのかしっかりフォローできるか時々もう被弾が許されませんついてただそれでも歩いていく希望の捨て前へしっかりスプラッシュ大将藤村対時々フレーム大将流星いってみましょうになってしまったが関係なしか当たってるこれは藤村としては大きいゲージもあるぞ
中国札があります
こういうところエイジスまだ足りない2枚目プレッシャーに挟んだ相打ちしかしカウンターこれも返す今度は仕留め切りたいどうだスタンリッチうまく返してる追いつかれたか選択肢を多く散りばめてワンゲージから羅漢交渉フィニッシュ打つ隙間はあるかコパンからありますね反撃ののろしカウンター確認しているゲージもマックスだぞどうする
絶対に見えない
これは見えんパンチでスタンしているしっかりとフルコース CA まで決めて追い詰められました桃地スプラッシュこの第7節0ポイントは避けたい差し返しの混合剣これはスタンまで、さあイメージでも足りませんがこれはワンチャンス流星ゲージを使う2つさあ千代差し込んでいくフルのリソースがある目の前いやそれを生かしたい流星にはゲージはないがプレッシャーはかけているキラーソルトカウンターでも取っているスタンさせるこれは画面端さあまたもやフルコースからの2択ナイスガードゲージを使ってしっかりガードして
Surely the season has to be over now for Momochi Splash. A 4-0 drubbing. Fujimura's Akuma coming out to play.
Yeah, no comment on the Akuma. I made some comments last time, got a bit of got a bit of slack, so I'm just going to say...
Let's start from the top.
Unlucky, that's all I'm going to say, yeah.
Let's start from the top. I think it is a smart decision. If you are the best player and you're banned, then it's a good decision to put yourself in first.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be Tacho.
Yeah, and leave that final spot, for probably your second best player who's a character specialist to allow them to do the work. So I think
it's also
correct.
Just to add to that, it's also good not to put yourself second if you've been significantly weakened, because by the time you get to the second place, your team could already be in a situation where 2-0 down if you lose. Yeah. So the next game is only for a draw with the 2 points. So both positions really. First is just makes the most sense.
And we've seen that a lot, right? Where
tons
players that are banned, they're going up against each other. Both players affected by bans are gone in first. And I think it's a solid strategy. Momochi picks Ken against Geef, and it's definitely not a counter pick, but I think Ken does all right against Geef. He's got really good horizontal range on his jump. Really good horizontal range on his fierce DP. So it's really good for anti-airing against Geef. He can blow through his armor pretty well. And he's got really good walk speed, which allows him to walk in and out of range of that stand fierce and whiff punish it significantly. Now, we did see glimpses of old Momochi Ken, but bruv, there was some rusty stuff going on there. Combos dropped. Hit confirms missed. Now, this was the man in season 1 that was getting 96% hit confirms.
Yeah.
That was in season 1 without the input delay reduction, by the way. An extra frame and a half of lag, and he was hit confirming everything. The inventor of low forward hit confirms with Ken. And he weren't really hitting any of it. In fact, you could see his frustration because he was letting rip with
He's just letting them fly, wasn't he? This is letting them fly.
You know, like
when in doubt, DP it out, Logan. Just.
And I mean, to be honest with you, the EXDP with Ken is really strong because he gets Oki off of it and he gets his turn. And Geef doesn't have great defense, but you could see it was normally in an instance where he missed an opportunity before. You know what I mean? Failed to hit confirm something, then he's minus and he just lets it rip just to stop his turn. And even playing like that, it was still close. It was 2-1 to Itazan in the end. So.
It's interesting because I actually like that ban strategically. If you look at Itazan's performances so far in the league, even when he's been pushed to the edge, I think Gachikun took him right to the wire with his secondary carrying. He's always able to pull out the result. So I like the idea of targeting that Abigail, because in a team setting, I think Abigail's a really strong character, especially if you can line up the matchups nicely for him. So targeting the Abigail was a great shout, but then putting the Ken against it just wasn't the best idea, I guess. It just wasn't ready, and they ended up losing that one. My oh my, how this has turned the table around as well.
I don't know which characters he's been putting work into. I mean, when we spoke to him, he said that he'd been exclusively using Seth pretty much.
Yeah.
And you think, when you think of Momochi's Ken, you're not seeing it more than once or twice a season. It's mostly been Colleen, bit of Zeku as well, some Cody now and then, but something like that. So let's move on anyway. Johnny, who we know from, I think it's Karin as well as his G. Yeah. He went up against Tokido, who's not been banned in this.
No.
So he has free pick, and he chooses to pick Urian in this matchup. So it's G versus
similar
Urian.
to his CPT run, right?
Yeah. Now Johnny, to his credit, had some really awesome tech in this match. He was using the splash to make Urian's crouch and heavy punch width, which forced Tokido to really change up his air-to-air options, or anti-air with roundhouse as well, or just change his timing, do it a lot later, which obviously is good, because if you can make Urian unsure about his anti-airs, as we saw in your analysis earlier on, it really changes the game around. But he also had some really awesome stuff dealing with Aegis. Raw activation and then the spin kick through the mirror to get rid of it and play again. Then cancelling into the V skill to be plus, which is really brilliant. He had a bunch of combos. He had a bunch of stun combos in there as well. I don't know if they were all shown in the highlights, where he got a trade for the stun. And Aegis is there right in front of him. And he just walked into the Aegis just to make the hits go, and then did his stun combo. And there was another one in the opposite corner where he just finished the combo with a special that carried him forward, so the Aegis didn't hit him as well. Even with all of that tech, Tokido still banged him up 2-1. Very impressive stuff from him.
Yeah, Tokido's got a great way of... he's just fundamentally very solid, isn't he? Yeah. He always finds a way, especially with his Urian. You're finding him drop some crucial combos, miss some key moments, and still able to grind out the victory. And he's done it again for his team, and a very important win that as well, momentum-wise.
Yeah, I can't remember any, when I was watching it, I couldn't really remember any rounds that, completely contrary to Xiaobao earlier in China, where it was he just brought it all back with V-Trigger. I don't think he got any big V-Trigger combats in that set. So really just reinforces what you said. Fundamentally, really, really sound. The opposite, of course, is true when we look in the next one. You'll be very, very fond of this character pick. Fujimura, complete freedom to use whoever he wants. And of course, he goes straight to Akuma.
The world has been deprived, Logan. And, at this point, I know he lost with Chun-Li last week. It was Guile, though. It was Daigo's Guile. It's a very strong performance. But to go Akuma in this and lose, it's just it's painful to see.
There was a couple of interesting situations where sort of season 3 Fujimura, you would expect to see the craziest conversions. He got early on first round. He got meaty crouch, medium punch. Ryusei does wake up Aegis. I'm expecting a mad trade combo. There has to be one. It's Fujimura. He doesn't get anything off of it at all. And I'm pretty sure he can at least something in that situation. There was another instance where he parried a EX violent knee, and you're expecting like a big punish on it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
A counter hit. It was a counter hit crouching medium punch. So it wasn't even a punish. It was he caught Ryusei pressing buttons after.
Just overextending, yeah.
And again, people still getting counter hit after crouching medium punch on block, bro. Like dash up, crouching medium punch on block, point blank, 0. Urian doesn't have a 3 frame, and they're getting counter hit by another crouching medium punch. So I'm not sure what the mix-up is there, but I think Fujimura in general, just his Akuma, was not looking on point, and that's why he lost 2-0. 4-0 whitewash. Surely the season's over for Momochi.
Well, you know what gives them a little chance, Logan, is this actual setting they have where you can get 4-0s. I think in theory it's over. You know, it's well and truly over for these guys. I mean, Haitani's been pretty much inactive. They constantly picking Johnny, who's been good, but Fujimura, who's probably...
You think that's because they just don't rate Laura?
Yeah, I think maybe a bit of both. They don't rate Laura, and also Haitani may be in a character crisis, and you know, I think maybe he feels like Johnny's pretty solid with his 2 characters, and you know, I'm still kind of learning my character. Maybe I'm not sure. You know, but Haitani with an optimal character is a way more formidable force historically than Johnny, right? But it's kind of like, on paper, that looks like an incredible character player to have in your team, but because he's in this character crisis, he's not really picking Akuma, we don't know who he's using. It's like you don't have the Haitani on your team. So you're left with Johnny, which is still good, but compared to what he could have been, it isn't that great. Then Fujimura has just been quite forgettable this season, unfortunately. Yeah. He's gone through this character change, and his Chun-Li's been great in the solo events that we've seen it in, but in this particular event and this setting, it's just not coming to play. And then Momochi, who's been great in the CPT, always making a good run there with his Seth, has done what he could. I think he's had some great performances, but it's just not enough. So to answer your question, mathematically, because of this the point system, they could easily get 4-0, 4-0 and climb their way back up. But in reality, that team morale must be down. Performance has not been great. Yeah. I don't see them coming back.
Well, speaking of a team that certainly doesn't have bad morale and is aiming for 4-0s the whole way through, we'll move on to our next match, because we see 4th place Fudo going up against Mago Scarlet. And for me, my very favourite person in all of XFL has definitely been Mago.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% of the way.
It's Mago unleashed. He is really letting it all out. He is playing up to the cameras brilliantly, and states that they're ready now to turn it round.
He says that every week.
And go on a streak of 4-0s.
You know what I love? You know what I really like, though?
I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been...
Tequila.
I think MOV. Okay. MOV said, yes, we're going to go on a streak. We can still get first.
Put MOV.
And Marco chipped in and said, no, that's like first is off the card.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, mate.
We can't even get it.
Whoa. Easy, right? But that can't happen, mate.
We can't even do it mathematically.
Slow down, boy.
But we're going to go on a run.
You know what's really I love? It's not just the fact that Mago has got this infectious, hilarious personality. It's how it impacts everyone else as well. Because even Takedo last week, Takedo was like, Mago's been really relaxed recently. That's scary. Mago plays his best when he's relaxed and there's no pressure, I
want to know when this was recorded.
Right?
Is it September?
Good question.
That's what we'll find out. Okay, so let's talk about the team lineups. We've got, for Fudo Gaia, it's the standard lineup, Fudo, Dogura, and Pugera. And then for Mago Scala, it is Mago, Moke, and Mizuwa. No MOV this time around.
Well, MOV after last time when he came out saying, I'm really going to redeem myself this week. And then I think Chun-Li got banned. And you just saw his face. Like, he didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
It's the Street Fighter League, baby. So I think that was a good choice to sideline him on this occasion. Yeah.
Well, this time around, the bans were as follows. Fudo's team had no Seth available, which is interesting because no one actually mains Seth, I don't think. Pugera, kinda. Dogura as a second. But I feel like Pugera's poison's been more impressive than the set.
He has been whipping out the Sfl a lot, but the poison.
And then on Mago Scarlet's side, Cammy was banned, and this was strategic because Pugera and Fudo were both concerned about about players counterpicking with their secondary Cammies, which is Mago and Moke. Obviously, Pugera and Fudo wanting to look at poison, and Cammy is certainly a tricky matchup, if not a straight up and down losing matchup. Let's take a look at the highlights. So the matches are Pugera versus Mago, Dogura versus Muzua, and Fudo versus Moke. Here's the highlights. We'll be back to talk about the results and some of the gameplay on the other side.
Fudo ya Senpo Pugera tai Mago Scarlet Senpo Mago Itte miyashou! まだこれは固まってどうだバイアスコールがいった保険から取り合わそうどうか投げ一つゲージを2つ無理やり難しいしかしここは対空貢献投げいい形いやしかしトリガーを持った状態で走り追い込んだそしてゲージは3つある痛すぎるかこれはひとたまりもありません残らないラブハリケーンこうなると写真さあよくぞ当てたねじ込んだから投げ見えてきた CA がもうたまった有利から打ってきたここはプゲラがマッチポイントを取りました有利からどうするゲージはあるぞうまく差し返しの形無知だぞ相手はしかしまた距離が遠くなりましたプゲラがいい距離の取り方を見せますお互いゲージ3本です綺麗に入ってで5一戦5残りますかねこれ多分勝利への道を照らしていきますプゲラここはスタンまで持っていきたいプゲラ根元が当たったぞ立ち上げキックさあ運搬して画面端うまくさあ投げを誘って打撃を当ててスタンチも溜まっているリバーサルでスタンチ回復トリガーがないぞプゲラ前に出て刻んでどうだからの投げさあこのままいければというところが空中くらいバレが通っていたでも無理やり詰める発音残り体力が少ない削りが増えているうまくこじ開けた形殴り合い集中攻撃を埋め込んでからのしっかりスタン狙いどうしようこれゲージありますそうですね倒しきる選択肢取れるかいや残しますね投げでというところですねはいもう一読み勝たなければ画面端には到達できないがオロチ大ファンいや踏み込みが刺さるさあゲージはマックスいやこれはもうそろそろ圏内だよでこ貢献これでさあキリ叩き潰すいや中堅ドグラ対マゴスカーレット中堅水葉いってみましょうカウンターで今度は水葉の V ゲージもたまりましたねそうですねこれがアブソリュートゼロさあ拳に氷をまとって機動力も上がるいくつパラベラムそこさあ一発攻撃を当てられるかというところが今度は水葉も V 取りがありますこれは表裏か2ゲージ K からのでガードの上からですかね画面端投げで終わってしまいますよゼロ刻んで投げここは抜けているかさあゲージ使ってしっかりガード大陸リードを見さディレイをかけてセンターまで戻るうわーいや完璧ヒットよく押さなかったいやよく投げ見ているそして追いかけていきました最後の瞬間見逃しませんでしたところ水はゲージ3本ですいやこれはしっかり分かっている押し置きタイム残りましたが走りがありますまだ V ゲージがある怖すぎるドグラもよく守りますねそうですねわあしっかり与えられ方をしてしまっているか守りが非常に優秀な選手なんですけどそれでも守りきれないですねいやー下からフライに来る打ち上げていやーリーチ耐えられるかパンチがいやーしょうがない今のは押しちゃう 大中から大きなダメージまだ残る。さあ待望の一生は目の前にある。続いてゲージを1本使いました。後ろにいるフードワイヤー大将フード対マゴスカーレット大将モケいってみましょう。
投げ抜け誘い読みですね。
さあこれはトリガーがそしてジャイアントスイングレインボー台風でコーナーからドライバーさあ単発いい状況もう一回対応していくもう一丁三角入れ替われば飛び込んできたイーグルからいやー大きいですよ大き攻めリリークラッシュカウンターからウィング全部まだ残る両ゲージマックスモケはどうする何を狙う生発動アーシュパーこれはモケもチャンスありますねからの上に暴れになった上いやちょっとどう崩すんだそしてガードしているさあそこからガード方向入れ替える表側から最後はなでしこと一緒にいるいや綺麗に避けたいる入れ替えつつ自分のチャンスにするたださあそのチャンスを生かしてリーチですね負担が近いこれはピッチゲーターうまいいうまいよく見ている完璧投げ誘いの前歩きまで十分うまっいや狙ってましたね
はい、ミカめくりがかなり落としづらい。
さあ翻弄している翻弄しているそのまま被弾なしパーフェクトで1試合取り返すただモケは止まらないいや
これは大きい
これは大きいぞスタンも
止めますね
止めま
したねあえてですねこれは
倒しに行く選択肢
ただゲージがないんで
補正が薄い
ワンゲージ溜まりますから残りますねはい
あと1ゲージ溜まったが刻んでここで崩していく投げは抜けている
お互い V トリガーある
いやー危ないあるぞどうだじゃからタックル発動どうする V リバー真ん中我慢の末に EX ミキサーからの
発動ですね
これ発動上またこれはこの形
残ったぞいやー投げを抜ける
フードにはトリがありませんがしっかりフィニッシュ
I cannot believe that I mean, I suppose if you call a 4-0 every week...
I was about to say, you're bound to be right at some point, right?
Eventually, you have to... Is it the start? As I said, are these recorded in September?
That's a very good question, because this Mago...
Were they recorded in August, and then now we've got to September?
Apart from a few combo drops, this is looking a lot like a September Mango.
The first game of Mago set against Pugera, he looked rubbish.
Yes, trash.
He looked rubbish.
Helpless.
No confirms.
Tenko's on block, like, no.
He was blocking. He blocked EX flip and normal flip, and he's like, no punish or just jab, like, you know. And then it's like everything went right. Everything went right. Taking Poison to the corner and just absolutely blowing her up with pressure eventually. Even the V reversals didn't make any difference because Mago was just getting straight back in. He had a couple of like really good jumping call-outs as well, which is always a risk for Poison.
Exactly, yeah, it's part of her matchup. Yeah.
If she makes the read correctly to the anti-air, it hurts a lot. But, bruv, like, everything was working out for Mago. Is that September Mago? It must be.
If it isn't, then it's the closest thing to it. And I'll tell you what, I've got to give him credit here because he's been saying his team's going to come through. And I know you can say that every week, but, Momochi's been hoping for the same kind of change. And you've got to also acknowledge the team he's done it against. He's done it against one of the best teams in the league. These guys were top of the table 2-3 weeks straight. And he's gone and got a 4-0 against them. It's a massive, massive win, and it has completely turned their season around.
I definitely think that since you started gassing up Dogura, you've cursed him a little bit because you've not had
I've not been able to gas him up. I wanted to gas him up.
Any reason to gas him up at all since Sfl Japan started. He's really been unfortunate or underwhelming, one of the two. But Mizuha, as you pointed out before we were talking, now that we're in the second half and
it's like a sub. Again, it's like you've literally you had a signing. You had freaking, I don't know, you had Messi on the bench. No, Messi was injured.
Yeah.
And it's the second half of the season and he's back to full fitness. It's like a brand new signing. Mizuha, with respect, his subs are trash. and he was getting banned a lot of weeks, not because people were like scared of his main, but just because his subs were a free win. That's why I was getting banned.
The way that Kaba's just being attacked.
Exactly.
Or Pro Japan.
In USA, yeah, exactly. It is because for that reason, exactly. So this is why Mizuwa is like a new signing, and you saw how strong he looked. Decent matchup as well, it turned out. But man, dominant. Mago Scarlet could be on the horizon.
Talk about the last match though, because you banned Cammy because you're worried about the pick, and like did I don't know if Gachikun gave you PTSD. I don't know what it is.
That's so good. It's so funny.
Fudo against Moke, who's clearly going to pick Rashid.
Yeah.
And you go with Mika and lose.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those cases, right, where they've clearly sat down together and they've said, someone said something and someone else said something. And someone else said, yeah, but if they know that we know that they know, that we know that they know, that we know, then they might pick Cammy. Oh my God, you're a genius. Let's ban Cammy. And then one of the guys in the background, one of the logical guys is like, guys, no one on this team mains, shut up. We're banning Cammy. And that's what happened. And yeah, that ban just went to waste because I don't know.
And you basically just played the Mago, Mizuwa, and Moke just all playing their mains. having a world of a time.
They must have been so confused.
Mago is back, and Fudo went from flying high, joint top of the table, to dropping down.
Yeah, it's not been going well. Not been going well at all.
But they've still got, I think it's 3 weeks to go. So.
Yeah, and they've still got a decent amount of points from their earlier stage, so they're not too low down the table.
In the middle, and of course, top two get through. So let's take a look at our final match, and this again is the marquee event. Nemo Aurora, flying high. They've just been coasting.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't been...
Got a little cushion up there as well, haven't they?
I don't think that they've been, like, flying through and really just battering everybody. They've just... You know those teams that just carve out solid victories?
But they get a minimum of 2 points every time. Even when they're having a bad day and they're 2-0 down, they always manage to win the Taito match, right? So they're just, like you're saying, they're constantly getting a minimum of 2 points every week. And that's what's allowed them to get where they are now, towards the top of the table. So 2 to 3 points clear they are going into this one. They win this, and I think they're pretty much poised to finish in the top two if they get a good result here.
Absolutely. So in this time round, Nemo Aurora's squad is Nemo, Tako, and Kichipa. No Gachikun this time, but they have to rotate. So I'm not sure whether that's a specific reason here. And Daigo Umahara Gold obviously has Daigo, Machabo, who's been really strong, and Kawano, who again has been targeted. This time, no Nauman. The bans are as follows. So Nemo Aurora Urian is banned, which is a big one for Nemo. He's still got Gil.
Yeah, he works out that Gil without hesitation.
But that Urian is definitely the big threat. And then on Umahara Gold, Nakali has been banned. So that is directly going for Machabo, showing you what a threat he has been.
I really like this. Exactly, and it's all to do with his form. He's been quite significant this season. Great ban.
Very interesting picks in terms of order for Nemo. So the matchups are as follows, and we'll go to this. So Umahara's got a much more traditional line order. He's put Machabo in first, going up against Kichipamu, which on paper is a bad matchup. Machabo's secondary is Akuma, and you know how much trouble Tokido has, especially against Kichipam. And then
Kichipam was great at that matchup.
Exactly, his reads are fantastic. Then after that, we have Sako versus Daigo. That is going to be an absolute classic. Daigo putting himself in second. Nemo, even though he's been banned for his main, puts himself in the final match. He's going up against Kawano.
Believe in the Dark Lord. Believe in the Emperor.
So let's take a look at the highlights, and then we'll be back on the other side to see how it went.
Nemorora, Senpo, Kichipa, 対するは梅原ゴールド、Senpo, Machabo, 行ってみましょう。 だ分かっているか。しっかり1本も決めて強化昇竜拳から、いやーこれはスクリュー強気にいきました。
先に V トリが発動するようになったのは
両ゲージマックスからマッチャーボーがザンク、そしてさあ非常に分かりにくい飛びからのしっかり関やクーレスター CA まで。ミスは許されないので丁寧に丁寧に。うわーここで飛び道具抜ける。5ハード抜けてから V トリガー、そして中からダブルアップ通っている。そのままおかわり大成功のクリティカルアーツ、どうだ。いやーこれはひとたまりもありません。さあ前に出る、行くしかないか。さあ前ステップがすぐになってきた。さあ投げてスタンが近い、しっかりと下からスタンを奪ってで刻んでいく。うわーゲージャー。さあかなり遠目から一気にこのダメージ。最後は下段いくつ使っていったとなると、もう一発近距離 EX あるが中足からバックジャンプ抜けていきました。さあこうヒット確認しっかり膝灼熱から投げて終わる。投げている中堅。さあこう対するは梅原ゴールド中堅梅原いってみましょう。さあシシの左目 V リバで返して、さらにゲージはある。しかこれどうすんだ。そして前に出るところ、
確か前シーズンとかではジャンプ強キックで果敢に飛び込みまくるみたいなシーンがあったと思うので、やっぱりその守っていってはいけないですね。
さあしかしいい形、画面端さあソニックを打ちまくってプレッシャーをかける。速いぞ回転が。さあソニックブームの雨あられ、そして近づいてからのシャンパン、画面端でダメ変化読みですね。どうだこ
ここから何か起こりますよ。
ヒットしている。さあ来るぞ極芸師さこの芸術コンボ。両ゲージマックスだがここから設置してどっちだ。いやこれは受け身は取らず、ただあまりもダメージを受けすぎている。打ってったハリケーンは届いている。
いやでもサコにも触りましたよ。
からのゲージを使ってこれはどうだ。たまりそうだが許さない歩いて投げはダメ。
リフレクト
上
いや硬い
上からの
これで
鋭いストーリーが終わる。ここで発動。間もなく3本です。跳ね返しておっとなのか無理くり。もう一読みトリガーがあるが
ナイスガード
かして。さあトリガーまずはビット2つ残り4つ。
いや無敵技を警戒しながら攻めに行ったんですが、
ここはうまく大将ネモ対するは梅原ゴールド大将変わろういってみましょう。大きなダメージになってしまった川のトリガー中アブソリュートゼロ。非常に強力なコンボが入ってヘイルとともに前に出る。ヒット確認しっかりスタンチがもりもり溜まっていく。リーチ押し切った。これでさあまっすぐ行ってラウンドまで。
ただこの炎属性は打ち勝っていく。
仕切っていきました。わずか外側から強攻撃、さらにラリアットからセラフィックウィング。
完璧。
これはいいダメージ。
コーリングあります。
残り20秒だがねじ込んだのは川野ストーム。またこのままキープ。いやネモの受けきれないか。お見事。ここはギルの持ち味存分に出ました。ダメージを取る。スタンチが黙っている。なるほど。結構この前で強気に強攻撃をしますね。しますね。リターン勝ちしている。前に押し込んでブラッキングでコンボできた。トリガーマルトムーンサルトで危ないところ。 CA はある。ゲージは3つ。ガードを固めて前進連勝からキープ。入れ替えあるか。コーラスでいく。スタンチをキープ。しかしうまく切り返してさあ画面端このチャンスを生かしたい。ネモにはトリガーがある。トリガー中だがこれがストーム触っている。どうだこの舞はまだタイムを見ている。
これは交換ですかね。タイマーを減らすために飛び道具打った。
タイマーがなくなった。ネモが耐え切っていきました。そして地上と上を使い分けるネモ、これは差し返しの形。さあ氷がついた拳なら届く。長いですね。いやースタンになる。しかもめちゃくちゃ減りそうですねこれ。さあ補正が薄いのでガンガンネモの体力が減っていく。ダブルアップ。投げまで決まってしゃがみガードしながら絶対に下がらない。そして差し返し。さあ裏にも許す。面白いように打撃が当たる。スタンチが溜まっていく。ネモにプレッシャーをかける。なんとか耐えた。ゲージは3つ。そして V トリガー丸が止める。前に出れません。うまい。ここも玉抜け。 EX バニティ苦しい中だ。ヒットしている。
減るぞ。どうだ。
ボールが肉ソムめちゃくちゃ減ってるぞ。
やりきた。
強気にいく。氷でナイス。行きたいが川野が硬い。
I don't know if this has happened before, but 3 matches all finishing 4-0. Absolute washed.
Not happened before.
Wiggity washed.
I can confirm.
Genius strategy from Umahara Gold. Nemo Aurora, first place. They've dropped down now. We'll do a recap afterwards, but they've dropped out of first place into 3rd.
Yeah, this. Big dip. It's only 1 point, but these guys were cruising. I think they were 3 points clear. Now suddenly they're 1 point off the top.
I want to give big props to Matchable because
did you see that?
We already said like how difficult a lot of Akuma players find playing against Kichipam. And he showed a lot of that as well. I think he blocked a neutral jump fierce in the corner and just mashed EX-SPD straight away in the middle of it. Showing those kind of reads and won the first game. But Machabo came back and, bruv, his spacing and with punishing, I mean, I know how broken that standing medium kick is, right? And they have nerfed it a bit with the recovery frames. It's got the recovery frames of a heavy, but boy, does it have the hit stun of a heavy as well.
Yeah,
he was punishing Zangief from half screen away, and that Tatsu was still connected. Crazy stuff.
The hit stun on that move is just ridiculous. It's just like it's something else.
Why does he still get a juggle afterwards? That combo into the CA was obscene. It was outrageous.
I think Machabo's spatial awareness with Akuma was super surprising, especially in that matchup.
Really,
because it's quite a tricky matchup to know where to stand.
And his bravery as well, the way that he was using the fireball. He did get punished for it a couple of times, but not significantly to the point at which it would put him off. So, he definitely was able to use it at close-up ranges and from low forward cancels, late cancels as well, to kind of mess with Kichipa. Even though the Lariat was a threat there, even though the V-trigger was also a threat at certain ranges in certain instances as well, he still kept to it and really used it well. So,
this is actually quite a big win, Logan. This particular match it's a bigger win than people realize. Not only because Machabo had his beloved Nikali taken away from him, but also this is the second half of the season, and as you know, in this particular league, we're seeing a lot of mains come out. Now, you might be a Fujimura and not choose to pick your most optimal character, but if you are a Kichipamu, along with Daigo and unfortunately Kaba in the States and some others, you've not been able to touch your main since the start of the season. Everyone is just targeting you.
Mizuha,
right?
for example.
Exactly.
Prime target.
Mizuha's been hugely targeted. Suddenly, Nemo has Kichipamu, just like we just saw in the last game. It's like getting a new signing.
Yeah.
It's just been made, like Mizuha is suddenly available. Kichipamu, the best Zangief in all of Japan, probably in the world, is now available for your disposal, right? For you to use. Here he is. And guess what? He's up against a guy who doesn't even main the character in a matchup that Kichipamu is an absolute beast in.
Yeah.
And Machabo draws out the win. Man, you said it, but I had to re-emphasize it because what a massive win that is.
A lot of people were focusing on this next match, but I think I really agree in terms of the importance of setting the pace with this win from Match, but really, made the difference. But Daigo versus Sako was truly, this is the Daigo that we saw winning the CPT event. This is the Daigo that we've seen, getting crazy win streaks online when he's streaming. He just looked absolutely dominant against Sako with that minute.
Yeah, and that's not a straightforward match for Gala as well. That match's got some trickiness to it. Daigo, it's almost like banning him the way they've been banning him has just made him even stronger. Because if you go back to last week and see what he did, we didn't get to cover it, but if you see what he did against Fujimura's Chun-Li, I mean, Fujimura arguably picked Akuma today because of the beatdown he took from Daigo last week, with his Chun-Li. Maybe he's not feeling so confident with her anymore. Then he turns up here and he gets Manat. I think an absolutely genius pick from Sako to try and whip out the Manat and try and throw him off a little bit in a tricky matchup. And just brick wall play yet again. Just really, this team is looking like it could be the favourites now, I think, in terms of form, in terms of character ban availability now, moving forward for the rest of this season.
Well, credit to Daigo, he was getting the wins in with Kage.
He was, yeah. True, very true.
Let's not talk about that Dusty Seth that we saw for a week. But the Kage was doing work, even on a really basic level. Now that the Guile is unleashed, he's really showing how dominant he is. And then we get to the final match, Nemo with the Gil pick, up against Kawano with Colleen. He got the one game. Nemo's Gil is no joke.
It's ridiculous. He'll pick Gil in certain matchups in the CPT, not even going for.
Definitely pick Gil against Urians as well. Doesn't
gladly. He really rates Gil. I think he doesn't consider the character like OD, but I think he rates the character quite strongly, and especially his Gil. For him to put himself as Taicho in this circumstance as well, obviously proved to cost them in the end, but man, it wasn't easy. That was really scary.
Definitely wasn't easy. And credit to Kawano for getting the job done. Really impressed by his play. I think, we know that Colleen's a very strong character, especially with the V-trigger, and we saw how dominant Mizuho was against Dogura earlier, but, Kawano clutching it out. There's a lot of pressure in that final game. I know you don't like the format, but going into that final game 2-0 up, and you know that I have to win this, otherwise all of the work of my teammates is just for nothing. It must be tremendous pressure. So big credit to Kawano for closing that out.
I've said it before. I know I don't mind repeating it because it's important to know. If you've not been in a team tournament environment with everything on the line, I would pick on stage against Daigo over private like area with my teammates, hoping that I can pull the win. It's a different kind of pressure when people you care about.
We'll talk about that later when we get to the SFL America.
True.
Event, because that pressure and that emotion really comes out. If you were watching SFL Pro USA earlier, you will know what we're talking about. We'll talk about it in the next segment. But yeah, credit to Kawano, man. He closed it out and a 4-0 win. An upset, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely. Those guys have been dominating.
So if we look at the final standings, which I have on my screen to my right, in my command center that I'm here now, we've got Takedo Flame and Umahara Gold, both on 19 points, but Takedo Flame is top on difference.
Yep, round differential.
Nemo Aurora drops down to 18 points in third. Fudo Gaia still in fourth, actually. Mago Skylar moves up to fifth with 9
Hey, they're off the bottom. They're off the bottom, mate.
I'm a Mochi Splash down there drowning on 7 points. It's certainly going to be. I think for them it's over. Like we said, the spirit in the team, the momentum is just not there. You've got to say it's over for them. But Margot Scarlet, I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed on and surprised us. But be interesting. It's interesting to see how it plays out. Those three teams at the top, Takedo, Umahara, and Nemo, all flying high. So we'll see.
It's super close. Just a point between them, man. It's lining up to be quite a finale in these next few weeks. So
yeah,
I'm really excited.
You can see the next episode. It will be broadcast tomorrow, Friday, every Friday on Capcom Fighters with subtitles, so you can enjoy all of the banter. And trust me, there's a lot of banter, surprising amounts of banter between these Japanese players. So much personality coming out. I personally love it. Check that out on Fridays here on Capcom Fighters on Twitch and on YouTube. We're going to be back after this break when we look at this week's Sfl Pro USA League. We've got two great matchups. We've got Alpha 3 versus NASA Esports and Psycho Shinobi versus, oh my God, my mind's gone blank. Who is it? Remind me, F-word, please.
Oh, I'm done. Sorry, mate. I'm leaving that to
Gone. Who was it?
Brain fart, completely frozen.
Got it on
Psycho
my
Shinobi
screen.
versus UIU?
UIU.
Yeah, that's it, UIU. Yeah.
UIU.
Came to me in the end. We're getting old, mate.
Yeah, it's a late night as well. We'll be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Let's take a look at this on the other side.
The curtain falls.
I'll take you downtown. That's how you start the fight and finish it quickly.
Let's have some fun.
Let me zap you. Here we go.
Terrific wing! Go beyond the battle!
Get ready.
Destroy! Begin!
Let's go.
Disappear! Kneel!
You do not have the strength to crush the spirit of the king.
All right. I really like to exercise. And training is a lot of fun.
Time to meet your death. 5 insect.
Pull out all the stuff.
Witness the power of the content engine. This is the power of the king.
Parallel device expansion completed. Pseudo personality asset is imported properly. Biological brain connected. Doll unit 0. Startup sequence will begin.
Well now, little piece of junk. Time to wake up.
Doll unit 0. Activate.
Well, Jordan, who is a piece of junk? You idiot! Show me everything. Show me everyone. Show me everything.
Install.
Show me something worth taking. Your data will reside in me for eternity.
Hey, welcome back. We are still here on Fighting Words. We are getting into our final segment, which we take a look at Street Fighter League Pro USA. We are also going to look ahead at this weekend to give you a very brief preview of what you can expect from CPT Australia. But it is Sfl USA time, and we've got two great matchups. This time it is UYU going up against Psycho Shinobi. UYU desperately in need of a victory. The team of Kami, Oil King, and JB. They're going up against Psycho Shinobi, who are looking very impressive. Kaba, who has been absolutely brutalized by the ban system.
The number one target.
Yeah, alongside Shen and Hot Dog. Sadly, I have to say that Kaba did get targeted once again here. And he does have to open up with his Ryu.
It's that Gar life.
It is that Gar.
Dago knows about it.
Rashid banned for UYU. So that is a big one because it takes out JB, who has to use his secondary of Poison. And also Oil King doesn't have the option of using Rashid, even though he's predominantly been using Seth.
Seth, yeah.
It's
a clever ban. It's a clever ban against this team in general. It's the one that they tend to be going for.
I think the problem with UYU that they suffer from because of losing out on NL is they're very susceptible to bans because Rashid has an effect on two players and Seth has an effect on two players. So you end up both halves of the season pretty much having a significant effect on the strength of this two team because you have that crossover. And Oil King suffers both times. The matchups that we're going to see in the first round are Kami versus Kaba. It's going to be Seth versus Ryu. Oil King versus Sien. That is a double Seth V-Trigger 2 matchup.
Mirror on the wall.
I'm checking out on that. And JB versus Hot Dog. That's going to be Poison from JB against Hot Dog's M. Bison. That is a tough matchup for Poison. Let's take a look at the highlights. No spoilers. Check this out.
You pick, right? We see V-Star and V-Trigger 1 on both sides. A big time combo. Yes, sir. Carry to the corner. Crowd strong.
You have no meter.
A lot of pressure, too. Oh. Yeah, axe kick, traversing past the fireball. Big jump out of the corner. Okay, still same side, though.
Big thing.
Oh, the patience from Kaba. Letting the very subtle crouch jab go through when it connects.
Gotta be careful. Oh, air-to-air jump light.
Nice.
You talked about the patience from Kaba.
Next time, just tag. Just show him. It's okay.
Yeah, even if he takes, it's okay. Just show him you're willing to grab.
Nice. Oh, I like that. Good awareness there from Kami. Using the bait first with the axe kick and immediately jumping over the fire.
Oil King, let him Kami know. Be a little more patient.
Nice.
And he just turns on the gas, dash in, gets the crouching medium punch, big damage in the corner.
No meter.
And now Kami is in control.
Ooh.
Oh.
Show him that you're willing to throw. So once you convince him, you punish him for it. Excellent work. Great communication and great execution from the side of Team UYU.
And bananas for Ryu.
Oh, plenty of bananas.
It's okay. No worry. Okay, now Shen tell he don't worry. I think he very worried. Okay?
I think the opposite happened.
No. Calm down. Okay.
Good whip punish.
Oh, he tried to go for some fancy there.
But here's the
That's fine. No, you should have just...
Oh, big punish coming up.
Oh, you're dead!
The round and Kami going to a set point versus Kaba right now to secure another W on the side of the team. And you have to remember, all these rounds count. Oh, big jump in. And Kami getting that first big win activate.
You have super.
And V-Trigger 1 on top of that. You got to be careful. There's a lot of meter on the side of Kaba, and we know he can play patient. Stand like kick.
Oh, that's it. That's more than enough. Yeah, make it nice and easy. Didn't even want to do the critical art. Flashy.
Kami rising to the occasion once again.
Missed inputs are a pain when it comes to those axe kicks. Feels bad.
Whoa.
Oh, you'll
right
learn
in
a
the
hard
trigger
lesson.
too. And Cien
What
has...
side, Steve?
Nice. Goes for the crouching medium punch. I would have liked the empty jump low right there.
Nice.
Oh, and now Oil King gets a chance. That setup for the V-Trigger 2 wasn't too tight right there. That gave Cien another chance.
Yeah, it was more for the damage output, to be honest with you. I'm not too sure as to...
Ooh, good answer back. Oil King still alive in the second round. No interrupt there on the heavy kick. Once again. Crouch jab. Pretty far reaching as well. Activate, trigger 2, V reversal.
That's very, very common, right? Cien, very much so understanding of when to use that V reversal for that V-Trigger 2 pop.
Nice. 可以，大哥。
Oh, that was so far. Was that a whiff punish?
Oh, man.
Again.
Oh, just backs up a little bit. Meter on top of it. Lots of meter. Almost CA going into this second round, second game.
Yeah, it's a different story when they end up picking the same exact thing.
Okay. Something from Oil King at this point. Saving the meter, gets the counter hit. This can be stunned. This can be the round if played properly. Give me some meter, trigger on the table. Okay, look at the scale. The mix-up is going to be important. No.
Oh my god.
Oh, the detonation. It was so far away. And Oil King seemed to know, going straight for the EX Mad Cradle. Still alive in the set. Give me another match of Street Fighter UIU's Oil King.
Very close.
Back to the corner. There's a forward throw. Things getting a little dire. Tries to swing in between a heavy vortex kick, and it's not EXDP. It's not over, is what I was about to say. Trigger on the table. Axe kick finds its mark. And
wow,
nice.
cross-cut TP. That's more than enough. The target combo to catch Oil King on his wake-up.
Heavy punch is going to be so good, as well as just her whip attack, standing heavy punch. Another weapon that you can look out for.
Ooh, that counter hit conversion from JB. Good awareness on the punish.
And Hot Dog 29 likes to use that V skill too, right? V skill 2 is plus on block from Bison. However, it is interruptible. You just have to look for the teleport. Defense is looking so solid right now.
Yeah, okay. See Hot Dog fishing for some sort of movement to get that crush counter Psycho Axe.
Feel it with your body.
He's trying to mitigate the damage at least.
Nice.
He's up, but again, Hot Dog likes to chase the movement. Once he gets the reads, he's going all in. He's committed.
Offensive moves by JB. Choosing when the V reverse of certain moves is important.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Using the invincibility. Yep, using the invincibility on the EX.
Okay, activation route, you already know what it is. Hot Dog looking to get some mix-ups going. The Psycho Crusher full screen. Command grab was the threat. And that's exactly what JB thought as well. Hot Dog neutralizing the movement, forcing you to sit still. And of course,
really good, but it's only because he throws you so far. That's what I'm talking about. Use that range scissors kick to get in. Oh, nice.
What a sick play. JB out maneuvering Hot Dog right now. Nice check on the throw out of the corner.
Nice. Escape option there. Needs to be careful. Psycho Axe just to keep marching forward. Neutral jump and still not prepared. Luckily, neither was Hot Dog 29.
Uh-oh, the installation. Psycho Axe, it's gonna explode soon, Steve.
Oh.
Another command grab.
Beautiful.
I feel like JB, there's so many instances for JB to take control of this match, and it's just bad guy, positive vibe. Nice interrupt.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Doesn't mean you're a bad guy. Oh. Goes in the stance and just raw call out with the EX scissors kick. And once again, Hot Dog 29 turning on the offense.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that hit. This is good for JB. Oh, he looked out. You have to play this safe. Lots of trigger, lots of great life, and just out of range of that crouching heavy punch. He's got EX Fireball. He's going to do it. No.
It was the same side because he went Psycho Crusher.
The whiff punish that came in so clutch. JB needs to turn this round around now. UIU, these are the situations that can make or break sets. Good punish. Okay. Take the Oki. Oh, this is big damage. Stun looking good. Goes for the crouching medium punch because you are plus after that EX heart rate. No. This is not good. corner switch. I love the jab challenge, and now the offense coming from JB is looking
That's
spectacular.
What I'm talking about. Yes, converting off of those lights is critical. Just a couple of those from these last couple of weeks. Look at this, so much cleaner this time around. And as soon as I say that, Hot Dog again, relentless pursuit with that offense. Psycho Axe plus.
Oh, nice up tech right there. This is so good. JB.
Nice.
JB.
He tried to go for the throw bait with that Lovely Tender.
Oh no,
Just
this
take the
isn't good.
throws.
Time is winding down. Back-to-back V reversals. A lot of chip on the board. The hell attack in the corner. Hot Dog is always sniping the maneuvers.
Too good. Too good.
Man, I love Kami's playstyle right here versus CN. Be careful in that situation. Is Pleasant still a check. Big damage on the cash out. Once again, one of the skills of Kami is to successfully make you abandon your own game, and now you're playing his game.
It's okay. Don't worry, you have.
I know, I have your.
That's too far out with that forward strong. It was counter hit, but still manages to get the tip. He taps, dashes in, crouching light kick. Nice sneaky play there from Kami. Way to set the pace. Oh, and an interruption there. He understands the workings of Sfl and how this character operates.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, nothing happened. Now you're good.
Perfect.
Oh, that jump in just from so far away. But Kami was in control for the majority of that match. If he can recreate that first round and half of that second, he can take this match.
Yeah, that wasn't even something that Sien planned out. I think that was very, very lucky.
Got to be careful of those axe kicks. He's going really crazy with him now, and still no challenge to the XP.
Oh, you can't be reversal that way.
Oh, he dropped it. This is a big chance. I'm activating. I'm activating. Full see, I'm spinning it. I'm spinning it. Baby, take me to the bench.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Steve. Spent the EX bar instead.
No. Nice. I think you should sue in the match.
Kami, I told you, throw.
That's why he told him. He said throw, and he told him don't activate. If you were going to activate in that situation, I'm going to the bank. I'm taking all my money out and I'm spending it on this match to take Cien out of the game. That first match could have been monumental.
So the scramble is Kami stuck in the corner, but no conversions off of these counter hits.
He's gonna go low.
I love the commitment to say he's gonna go low. I'm going for the throw, lots of damage. Oh, he bet that.
That was okay.
Kami,
so
throw him,
I
bro.
feel like at that range, he should have been able to punish that forward heavy punch.
Match point, win this and dinner. Let's go.
Some of these stand medium punches are hitting counter hits, but I feel like he's just too far out of the way.
Okay, he got the hit. I'm spinning it, bro. I still got trigger active. Yep, you're dead. You're dead, bro. Let me see both of them. Let me see both of them.
If you not hit confirm, you just walk and the throw. It's okay. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
You just walk and the throw. It's okay.
CA available.
Okay.
At certain points of your string.
He's just trying to get away. Kami trying to get away in this situation. Avoid the counter punch. This is good. This is so good.
No.
No.
Still got the lead.
Completely different. And now.
Ooh, oh, that's more than enough. Shen taking it down over Kami. I believe that is 2 games straight. That is 6 wins on the side of Psycho Shinobi.
You know, I feel bad for Kami, you know. I feel bad for Kami.
Kami, he looked good, didn't he? Well, I still think you're being really harsh on JB's poison, though. I think, look...
That's a tough matchup, I'm not going to lie.
It's a tough matchup, and I think JB's poison has looked sick both times. Not sick, but it's looked good both times, you know? Hot Dog had to clutch that out, man. Yeah. He had to clutch the hell out of that one out, so, you know, I'm really impressed with that.
It was 2-0 and JB won a round.
No,
so.
but both... I mean, do you want to watch it back again? You saw what Hot Dog had to do to win those rounds? Were you saying that was free? That was far from free.
There was a point in that game where he did 3 Psycho Axes in a row. He definitely wasn't too pressed up in that match.
Oh, give me a freaking break. Yeah, all right. It's selective memory here with watching that set. I think JB, keep at it. That poison's coming along. You know, it sucks.
Yes,
it won't be in time this season, but it's a good choice for him. I think it's kind of working.
I mean,
out.
we might see come out for NA West 2, which is coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah,
you never know.
Always
What
good
do
to
you
have a
think of
character
that
on the
Seth versus Seth exhibition as well?
Yeah, wild.
Dangerous, deadly V-trigger setups. Deadly.
Oh, bloody hell. Here we go, mate. Listen, the V-Trigger 2, it was an interesting dynamic to the matchup, I think.
Yeah.
Well, what happened in the end then when Kami...
do you know what? It was like a nice, honest Street Fighter where...
what about when Kami whipped out the V-Trigger 1 in the matchup against the V-Trigger 2?
Yeah, well...
What happened then?
Better than that's all it is. To be fair. And Kami did really well. They were
Kami looked sick. His Seth looked sick. It looked really solid.
Job, he cleaned the floor with Cabra as well. I feel so bad for Cabra.
You know what? You got to feel good for Cabra. Come on, mate. Please. You should feel good for Cabra. Who can take that many beatings and still be in such a decent place in the league standings? He's got a very strong team carrying him right now because that guy's not getting a look in.
He's getting that good motivation. What was it a couple of weeks ago? Don't worry, doesn't matter. We'll
win.
We'll still win.
Yeah, you got this. He gets to play a casual match with a character like he's just picked up the controller at one of them exhibition events and he's just picked the character on the screen. He's just mucking about with Ryu.
I remember Ryu, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, cool. And then the other guys have got to play the serious match afterwards. He's in a great. I don't feel sorry for him at all.
His Ryu would wash me. So, but at this kind of world class level. Yeah, he doesn't have the secondary there.
No, not yet. No. You know what? This event is good for him anyway. He's gonna. I'd be surprised if Gabba doesn't learn a secondary, like off the back of this next year.
Maybe
just
Nemo could lend him one.
Yeah, he's good.
He's got enough spare.
Oh god, falling out of his pocket.
Great performance though. Psycho Shinobi with the 3-1 victory, cruising.
Yeah, big play from
up there in the standings, but there's a long way to go. This is only week 6, so much more to play for. As we get into our next one, and this one for me is very exciting. It is all about the young talents.
Yes, it is.
We have got the Alpha 3 who are flying high, and I have been talking up how impressive their team spirit is. Really came out to play this time round. And then you've got NASA, which is Angry Bird, Big Bird, and Samurai. Samurai very impressive this season so far. Has been allowed to actually play as Akuma a lot more also.
Yeah.
We've seen the Kage come out and the Ryu, but generally in a team like this where he's not head and shoulders above the other players on his team, he's been allowed to play a lot more and he's looked impressive. But
the different targets can vary.
We'll talk about the results as they happen, but yeah, there's one guy who's he's one of the best in the world. So the bans are as follows. Alpha 3 banned Seth, which is obviously going to affect Angry Birds. And Team NASA banned Colleen, which obviously affects Nephew. Very interesting bans because Angry Bird, we know Angry Bird has an incredibly good Zeku, and he still maintains it because he pulled it out in the CPT.
He did, yeah.
That Zeku. It's
still very much one of his characters.
Absolutely. Nephew, I know he has secondaries, but he doesn't maintain them to that sort of level.
Not that I'm aware of. Anyway. It's interesting for me as well, because I did say the other week, why would you waste a ban on Punk? Right? Why would you waste a ban on... Because the guy's secondaries are just so damn good. Yeah. It's almost like a wasted ban. Pick a ban that actually impacts the player and their ability to influence the set. Mm-hmm. I may have to take that back after this week.
Yeah, I mean, banning Punk and Idom is very difficult. Knuckle Do would be another player that kind of falls into that as well. Perhaps Problem X also, although he's more known for his own Bison. But for me, that strategy of trying to take a player out is very effective.
Yes.
We just talked for a couple of minutes about Kaba not being allowed to play. We spoke about Samurai not being allowed to play, and he was still getting the wins in with Ryu in SFL last year. This time round, not sure whether his subs are at the level where he can beat world-class opposition. But let's get into the highlights anyway. The matchup pairings are as follows. CJ Truth against Angry Bird. We have Nephew against Big Bird. And we have Punk up against Samurai. That's a hype one. Let's take a look at how the matches played out and what the final result was. We'll be back on the other side to talk about it in more detail.
Yo, the Nasser black and red. Just yo, do you see the Nasser sign on the down part of the gi right there?
That's so sick. Okay. Really? Oh, wow. That was a very interesting interaction because that is 0-1 block if you're crouching like that off the roundhouse. Good awareness from CJ Truth.
Oh, no V reversal. That throw, a major threat.
Ooh. That V reversal out of there. CJ Truth applying that pressure. V reversal on the side of Angry Bird. Backing off. Just a little bit, but the pressure still is put on by CJ Truth. One more throw in the counter hit the delayed crowd strong. Opening up first blood against Angry Bird.
Round 2.
CJ Truth. Great first. Slowly trying to walk to that corner. Angry Bird not looking too sharp right now.
Oh, nice. Just a little bit off the mark there. That sharp angle really throwing off CJ Truth's anti-air. Oh!
You want to try to DP it when it's going to the wall instead of when he's jumping off.
Final round. Fight.
Reverse. Oh, what a delayed V reversal, but still CJ Truth was very much so on it. He knew it was coming. Forward throw. Critical art is a factor here. Oh, missed the mark. He tried to chip. Is he dead?
I don't think he's dead. He's not dead. He's not dead.
He's living. He's living. He's living. Dash up twice. What's the meaty?
Stand light kick. That has done so many. This is going to be a tough situation.
The counter hit. I like that. The double jab, but the second one delayed.
Next one, okay? Don't worry about that.
I'm just he should have kept the V trigger and took the throw, and then he slide activate into a chip.
If I took the throw, I was dead.
No. Before that. Before he reversaled.
Oh, yeah. That was true. That was true.
How do they remember that? I forget what happened like 2 seconds. Like, I'm done.
Given Angry Bird a lot to work.
Nice.
Back throw.
Ooh. Yeah, you know, one of the biggest weaknesses right now against young Zeku is he doesn't have too much to anti-air with when it comes to those closer ranges of the jump.
Nice.
The offense is enough to make up for it, starting things off with a bunch of roundhouses.
Bruh. Is another threat you got to be aware of.
Oh, big counter hit.
Big damage.
And he still has V-trigger on the track.
Oh,
it's okay.
That can be done if you spend it.
That's really good for us.
Yeah, he has no meter now.
Yeah.
No meter.
Oh, he's living though. What a delayed tech there from CJ, but any hit.
Yeah, watch out for the dive. That's
okay.
No meter.
CJ Truth. Standing heavy punch, gets the sweep.
Nice.
Oh, you gotta be
danger
careful.
Zone.
Gotta be careful. An air approach won't be the worst thing in the world right now for Zeku, because it can get him to spin some of that meter if he goes for the anti-air.
And he can go for slides way more this time. Yeah, big in front of the
Let's go.
Better than dead.
And just like that, CJ Truth eliminated from the queue. Puts himself in the corner. Not really. Oh, that's not good. Forward throw. Nice. Another one.
Okay.
Medium punch.
Oh, okay. This is the problem. Critical arc is a factor.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute.
You might. No.
No, you're still living. What? Wake up critical arc could be a problem. Oh, I lied. Ooh, spent the ball.
The stand medium kick.
Should have kept the meter.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
You should have chipped them out, actually.
Yeah. Should have kept the meter.
Ooh.
That standing heavy punch is going to keep a lot of people honest. Yeah, you're definitely stunned. And even still, you might not want to get scooped again.
Oh, fake out! Oh, and presidentiality level maxed out. Oh, the drop. You hate to see it, Steve.
Uh-oh, forward throw. This is not good. No trigger on the table anymore for G. Has plenty of meter, though. Back
Are you kidding me? The reactions from Nephew?
Bro, you are
grabbing him straight up.
Getting perfect.
Action.
It's literally amazing, bro. It's flawless.
And dash ups too, but this time, yeah, he's chilling with those projectiles. That had to be heavy mixer. Oh, you tried it, Nephew. I like that. Yeah, getting rid of the V trigger early.
Nice. Not dead, but this situation is not favorable.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was so sick.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, that could have been a big whip punish.
Still no V reversal on deck.
Just built it right now. Oh.
Nice, let's go.
And just inching forward, crouching heavy punch. Haha.
Round 2.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate change.
Yeah, the HP spinning mixer still able to stop people from jumping. You still get the multi-hit punish, but oh, the big jump in.
Wee from Big Bird.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Not gonna be able to kill. Oh, you're getting hit. You're getting hit, bro.
Yeah.
And he has meter. No meter on the side.
She can definitely make this happen still. That's a scary.
Nice, let's go.
You know what I thought that was?
Let's go, Adele.
I need some gum.
And just remember you have me back here, man, so there's no pressure on you.
Yeah, you're fine, bro.
Yeah, like his game is basic. He just do like low activate or it's basic. It's basic.
Base.
But intimidate Big Bird, I feel like. He gets a hit.
Oh, nice. Just walking over. That is not good.
Huge drop.
G very close to getting triggered. There it is. And there's the hit. Should be the round.
It's okay.
So I do like the setup that Nephew's doing, right?
Round, okay.
Going for the melee instead. There were so many options, or so many times where he opted to go for the grab or command grab. He got stuffed the first time. The second time around, he actually got it. This time, he's exercising that option to get the meaty going. Very good.
Forward throw.
Oh, big jump out.
But that's not the first time we've seen it. Second time, in fact, in this game. Got to be weary of the command throw.
The wheel of options is just so present. Oh my gosh, present from the president.
Presidential present.
Still alive, okay? I'll try for the reset.
Oh, are you still alive? Yeah, still.
Yeah, a lot of scaling involved. Throw will be enough. Oh, you saw him pump for it.
That was it.
It's your turn, baby.
Raw activation on both sides. The V skill just completely dissipates the trigger on the side of Rashid.
Big Bird has to hold all of this now. Incoming from Nephew. Yep. Hold down to this block real quick. There's a punish on the board. He missed it.
Oh, nice. The low forward. Gets the mixer on top of it.
Uh-oh.
No!
Oh, Nephew! Oh, wait a minute.
Nice! Oh my gosh, I asked him, did he do throw?
He did throw. Fierce.
He's nervous.
Forward throw.
Jump, he'll jump.
There's the jump.
You're home. This is yes!
Oh, he sees home plate. All he has to do is
Nice. Nice.
Let's go. Pop-offs of plenty. Samurai already up to his feet, making his way to the podium. Cannot wait to get this run back versus Punk. And once again, the situation. The situations.
I'm telling you guys, we're not the only ones excited here at the desk. I'm telling you, the entire building right now have their eyes on this specific matchup. We saw how explosive of a match this was between these two titans in Season 2. We're about to see the fated run back here at Street Fighter League Season 3. It is Pink subbing for Punk against Samurai.
He's even dressed different, you know? Now we got a meter on both sides. Full trigger available on the side of Samurai. Uh-oh.
Okay, that's fine.
It's okay.
No matter what the option was, he was going to go for critical art, but the expense of resources.
Oh, I like the jab. Goes into the Tatsu. Samurai can make something happen. Dive kick, catches crouching. That's going to give me a combo. Music picking up.
Ooh.
Sick.
Back throw.
Mikey, don't be afraid to throw more medium kick slide away fireballs.
Mikey, he's missing out his confirms.
Yeah, he's nervous.
Oh. No confirms off of that. Again, the Birds have identified one big problem so far. It seems they're right, but Punk is sitting at a very solid life lead. Oh, he ain't missing no confirms. He was tempting
he's missing the confirms?
He was tempting you to press a button after that.
Spin that wheel.
Also, Mikey, just one, I don't know, like if you prefer it, but in the corner, when you have the corner and he tries to do some, like he did right there, stand heavy punch to the shoulder, don't be afraid to V-reversal so you can keep the pressure going.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
At that point, you don't need V-trigger, really.
Round 1.
Big for Samurai. Cannot use V-reversal, obviously does not have the gauge to do so, but...
Low forward fireball confirmed right now won't kill. That's not dead.
Not yet. Overhead is a threat, but Punk is backing off. Oh, he is winding down the time. I like this.
Oh,
nice.
And just
Holy, that was so good. You're so fucking good. It's ridiculous.
And that was 2 straight wins.
2 straight games on the side of Punk as we go to the next contestant on the side of Nasser.
All right, Tom and Judd. The pressure's on him.
Got a ton of throws off only because of the fact that
Ooh,
V-Trigger
the whip
was on
punish.
deck. As long as V-Trigger is active, you get your movement punished so often, so you have to check those lows. He was sitting there and taking those throws instead of the damage, which is very smart from Punk. Enough meter on there to probably take down Angry Bird. Still nice patience there, good tech from Punk. The awareness right now to just walk back and make sure Angry Bird does it to himself.
Don't worry, guys.
He did it to himself, right? Jumped in, got anti-aired. Thought the throw was coming, gets whiff punished with a medium kick.
Yeah, you have a lot of time too, okay?
Sound like it as well.
Use the clock.
Okay. Use the clock, says Samurai. Activate.
Oh, the interruption.
Stand heavy kick. Oh, this isn't good. Can't take too many more of those. Punk knows it. That low
One
forward.
more touch.
Stand medium kick again. Set point. Punk versus Angry Bird. And this is starting to snowball right now.
Activation there from Punk, applying that pressure out of the corner. You know he's chasing him down. Went for the wall jump, but still Punk 100% on it. Activation from Angry Bird himself. No, get off me. EX for Senha, and here comes the critical art finisher. No!
Nice. Let's go, I'm dead. You know the matchup, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it slow, okay?
Like you come, dude.
That was dangerous.
Oof.
Counter hit. Another.
Ow! The damage.
Oh, it
Ow,
hurts
you're
so
stunned.
much, Steve.
Oh,
it
you're
hurts
dead?
so much.
No.
Roundhouse Mujin? Not enough. Anything will do it. He's so
and
smart.
medium kick again.
He's so
really
smart.
Good. And medium
Really
kick
good.
again. You know
Do you
the matchup?
see that?
You don't know this matchup.
Listen, it's over that whirlwind shot. And I like that.
Yep.
Taking no risks.
Low forward.
I
Stand light kick. We've seen that medium kick be one of the tools that gets the W for Punk.
Oh, he threw him. Oh, that's so close.
Oh, not sure, not
Oh, unfortunate. Very unfortunate circumstance there. Spending the bar to kind of keep
Next round, okay?
Punk down in that corner, but EX is in a row. Ah, nice escape once again from Big Bird, but still a huge life deficit. Get off me. Great life there.
The reversal.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Nice.
But look at all the great life on the side of Big Bird, still trying to catch up on life here.
This is not looking good. Punk has a chance. Feel like if this...
Nice.
Oh, not dead yet, though. Not dead yet, though. Not sure about using that meter.
Yeah, puts himself in the corner.
Oh,
you're actually pretty close. Okay, throw will do it. Out of the corner. He was ready 100%.
This dude, Punk, is ridiculous. This dude, Punk, is actually ridiculous.
Playing out
every
of his mind.
option. The pink do-rag.
He played great. Don't even worry about it.
Man, just
Oh, wow.
Crush.
The neutral jump not working out for Rashid right now.
Excellent with punish. Oh, yeah, catching the movement.
Let's go.
That was the read from that Big Bird
Let's
made
go.
before. He's like,
We'll
if
take
he's
that.
not in time to press a normal, he's going to backdash. That was up his space, yeah. Teasing him with the jump, but still the Eagle Spike not in time to get a punish.
Ooh,
Nice.
Big jump in, heavy kicks.
EX for Senha, get off me. Huge award off of that. Look at all the momentum Punk carries with him off of that stray hit. Uh-oh.
Oh, you're
dead.
Don't worry about it. Next
Set
round, okay?
point here for Punk to take Alpha 3 to an OCV victory here against Nasser. The meter management in this match is really good.
Again, the interruption as well on the side of Punk. One solid hit, that'll be all she wrote, right? With 3 bars on deck. Oh, that could have been a dangerous situation. Oh, you're dead. You're dead and then dead. And he does the deal, eliminating Team Nasser. Punk with the OCV. He called it. Ladies and gentlemen, he called it. He said, if I get rid of Angry Bird, I think I got this.
And look at that. The OCV. Samurai going over to congratulate the team, still enthralled in love. CJ still hugging. Damn, that was good though.
Whoa, that was pretty. I felt that, man. I felt that in my chest, and I tell you what, I cannot say I can relate to being one of the best in the world. I mean, in many people's opinion, the best player in the world, and it's so cool to say that about a guy that's not from Japan for once, you know. But I can relate to. It's a different kind of feeling and a different kind of pressure when it's your boys. You know, it's not just you anymore. It's not just the crowd. It's your boys who you train with 24/7. They know you know this matchup. They know you're good enough to win. Just do it. And you know what? 99.99% of guys in that scenario, they're not going to do it. They're going to crumble. The pressure's going to get to them, and they're not going to play their best, and the team's going to lose. But Punk, man, wow.
I think
just what a win.
This just underlies why this format is just the most fun. You know,
it's way better. Oh, come on.
You don't get this. You don't get this in the other formats. Team tournaments should be about OCVs. They should be about that.
Absolutely.
You know, dominance or epic comebacks against all odds. You love to see it. Greatness coming through. Do you know what one of the most interesting things was? That it was almost like NASA jinxed themselves. In that match against Samurai, where, and I don't mean to, you know, completely overlook all of the previous matches, but really this set was all about Punk. In that first round against Samurai, you hear them say, he's dropping his confirms, he's nervous. And it's like, from that point, even though I know he couldn't hear them, it's like something switched on for Punk, and he just turned into an absolute killer. Crazy.
You know, I don't know what it is, but him with Karen, no matter how good his subs get, and they get bloody good. I'll tell you, his Chun-Li, his Seth, when he plays his Colleen is ridiculous. His G, but something about this kid when he's just flowing with Karen, it's got to be one of the deadliest Street Fighter players I've ever seen across all Street Fighters. It's just so unforgiving. You just the tiniest, littlest mistake, or even hesitation, and you know he just capitalizes to devastating effect, and his momentum as well, like you know, and he shifts from rush down to neutral to rush down to turtle. You just don't know what to expect, and all of a sudden you're trying to get something going, and you whiff the tiniest button, and you just get this into game over, and you're just like, man, what did I do wrong?
Space to just try and impose yourself a little bit, and that low forward flicks out. You know, when he's feeling himself, and that hit confirm comes out, you're in the corner, and the prediction. His offense is fantastic. On, you know, not all of it is reaction based. A lot of it is. That's what makes him so scary. His reads are great.
His reads are incredible. So annoying.
Air to air against Big Bird.
Ready.
Jumping out of the corner and got the KO. He was ready with the double medium. Exactly what he needed to get the KO. In that situation, you know how many options Rashid has, and he was ready for it. Incredible stuff from him.
And also, you know what? A massive shout out to him as well for openly admitting that, you know, hey, look, the main problem for me was kind of Angry Bird. I knew if I could beat Angry Bird, I'd win that. But if you actually watch that set and see the way he played it, you wouldn't have thought that was the one he was worried about. It was a good close set. Angry Bird put up a good fight, but he looked comfortable. He looked like in the driver's seat for most of it.
They played each other mix up, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think Angry Bird won the first set, right?
Then the first set, he did.
And they have to run it back.
I think you need to really adjust to play against Angry Bird Zeku's style. It's a very, very distinctive style. One of the things that, you know, we spoke about earlier, and we need to bring this up because it was a big point on the show, and probably the most important thing that happened on the show. You know, that post-fight interview with Punk, which we're going to play for you back in a minute if you haven't seen it. But you were talking about how much it means to be in that situation. You know, in a team tournament event, and you've only played in, like, for fun team tournaments, right? Generally, like, no big competitive.
I mean, they don't feel like this is how insane it is. It doesn't even feel like it's for fun.
That's my point. Like, even in a team environment that's just for fun, couple $100 on the line, €100 in the prize pot, whatever it is. You know, I mean, there's been a fair few. I know you've been to.
Well, World Game Cup was the biggest one, and there was actually a decent prize pool for the team tournament in that one, in Cannes, and there's been a few others over the years.
You ever been to Canada Cup?
I've been to Canada Cup, yeah.
Did you get to take part?
I think I did, but I think I was on the B team for Canada Cup.
Oh, that was the year when we had 2 EU teams.
We had 2 EU teams, yeah. So I don't think I was on the A team for that one.
So what's that like? You know, just talk us through that before we run this in, because.
Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, I know what it is, but it's hard to put into words. I mean, you train with these guys, right? You also hang out with these guys. You go and eat with these guys after your sessions. You talk with these guys about your love lives, and they're your friends as well as your training partners, as well as your teammates. And when you see them lose, or you see them flop something that you know they're good at, and they always get in training, when you play them, they never drop it.
Yeah,
it hurts. You know, it hurts you. You're like, oh man, come on, you're better than that. I know you could have done it. You know, multiply that by like 1,000 when their flop is on your shoulders. You know what I mean? So it's like, all of a sudden, it's not just yourself you have to worry about. You can be a bit lazy, drop a few combos, forget to do a bit of research on the matchup, you know? Get a bit nervous and choke here and there. It's just you. Who you really let down other than yourself, right? But when you got your boys there gunning for you to do well, oh yeah, let's put F-word on. He wins this matchup. He always wins this matchup. You know what I mean? And then you're there and your boys, you know, if it was just me one-on-one, I'm going to win that matchup.
Yeah.
But because you're there and I need to win it for you, stupid stuff starts happening on the screen. It's a different level of pressure, man. And I think I can't relate to the feeling of doing it on that grander scale. You know what I mean? Like, because that happiness that he's feeling, I think there was a combination of he's done it for his teammates, but also, hey, I am good enough. Maybe he's been having doubts over his carrying, and that like OCV got the confidence back. But I can tell you, like, based on how bad it feels, I can only imagine how good it feels when you get it right. Right.
Let's look at this. It's a real outpouring of emotion. All of that coming to a head, and you can see how important this is to Punk. You know how important the team is to him, and these results. I've never seen him react like this to, you know, any win. I don't think before, and it just shows you how important this team dynamic is. Maybe it's something to do with the times that we're in and the limited access to offline we have.
They're spending a lot of time together, man.
Exactly. So, you know, they're the only people that he's really got to bond with and spend time with. Maybe it means even more, and he's amplified in these times. But, you know, it's an honest reaction, and you love to see it. You love to see players just being honest and showing how much these things can mean to them. Let's see exactly what Punk had to say. Shouts to Rob TV for the interview. Handled it like an absolute champion.
Really well handled, Rob, man.
Let's
Brilliant
listen
stuff.
To one of the best in the world.
I am here with the incomparable Punk the guy. Actually, I see you got the pink do-rag going. I don't know if this is pink Punk. This must be Punk, the fusion.
Yeah, I think it's the fusion. It's between me, Pink, and Punk. You know, it's all of us. We all here.
In between Angry Bird, Big Bird, and Samurai, none of them stood a chance when faced with you. How are you feeling right now? What do you have to say for yourself?
Man, I feel so, like, I'm happy, you know. I had some tears in my eyes for a few seconds ago. Like, I don't know, man. I didn't really think I can do it, like, because I feel like my Karen has not been so good when I've been playing her, and I feel like I actually couldn't do it, and I told myself that I couldn't OCV any team here, but...
Bro, oh my goodness, Punk, in the end of the day, I've never seen you this emotional. I definitely feel like a lot of this has to do with the fact that lately you've been dealing with a whole lot of pressure from playing online. You're always the best player in the world, setting records, getting the most CPT points. And this year, you're, you know, obviously having to deal with the online environment. It's not guaranteed for you to be in Capcom Cup. All of this emotion, can you explain it to us and let us know how this year has been for you and how important Street Fighter League is?
It's very important. I feel very emotional because...
Love, bro. Let that out. Let that out. Let that out, bro.
You know, it's because, like, Nephew and CJ are like...
You're good. You're good. This passion right here, this is passion. We talk a whole lot about team chemistry and things of that nature. This is true passion for what we do.
Yeah, Nephew and CJ are like two of my closest friends, and I really just wanted to win for them. More so than myself, so that's why I feel so emotional, because I feel like I did what they expect of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Punk the God, in the end of the day, you can see this level of passion right here. Obviously, this is somebody who's always a super fun-loving guy, always laughing, making jokes, trolling, things of that nature. But you can see the reason he's so good, people talk about natural talent. This passion that you see right here, this is why Punk the God is who he is. And this is why, no matter how many of his teammates you may beat, and as long as Punk and that pink do-rag is in the back of that line, in the end of the day, no lead is safe. Ladies and gentlemen, Punk the God.
Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say you can hold your head up high, Punk. A super impressive win against one of the most scariest teams this season. And when everything was pretty much done and both your teammates were out, you came through and you got that massive victory for them. a lot of people may not understand why there's tears flowing from your eyes, but my man, I think I do. And well done, man, and good luck for the rest of the season. What an interview, Logan. And again, big shout out to Rob TV. I mean, that was a very unique situations we put in, and he handled it like a champ.
I mean, it does kind of show you the importance of having players involved in the broadcast that can really relate to that side of things. It's why I have so much fun broadcasting with you. I can ask you questions. You've got an insight that, although I might understand the mechanics and the psychology, there's levels that I just will never be able to access because I haven't been able to access as a player. So I think that kind of insight is vital in as we go forward in broadcast. I'd love to see more players involved. You, of course.
And as emotional as the scenario was, it wasn't easy for Punk to talk because he was feeling a lot of emotion, right? I am actually appreciative of the fact that Rob kind of pushed him a little just to give us because I was confused, right? And I think a lot of people watching that would have been a bit confused as to, oh my God, he's crying, what's going on? And it's got
like
more emotional as he went on.
Match,
right?
Like, cool, you've OCV, great, but it's like a mid-season match. It's not like it's finals. It's not like it's not like Evo
exactly
on stage against Takido, which we all understood that situation. But but
I think if it was coming from just a random broadcaster who Punk doesn't know at all, maybe he might have not opened up there and then. He might have been the interview would have been dead. But because it's Rob, it's his boy, someone he knows well. Asked him quite gently, why are you crying? And he gave us a little insight. At that point, there was no more needed to ask him because he was fully got at that point, right? It was literally bottom lip shaking, level of tears at that point. So just let the guy go and rest. It wasn't quite James Chen Evo ending tears, but it was getting towards that, So yeah, really well handled.
You love to see the power of the pink do-rag as well. Hopefully that will be coming out for NA West 2, which you can catch November 21st right here on Capcom Fighters. That is the last CPT event in 2 weeks' time. Last one. Of course, Punk is starting that in losers bracket as well. A lot of people have forgotten. He's serving that punishment after his outburst after losing last time round. Let's see what happens this time round. Punk starting in losers. It is going to be a really incredibly hard-fought event, and you'll be able to catch that here on Capcom Fighters. But before that,
I was going to say, that's not the only one, is it, Logan?
We have another event to look at, and of course it's coming up this weekend. We had CPT China getting their own event and getting some representation at Capcom Cup. Even more historic is this event happening this weekend, CPT Australia. Australia has a fantastic community. We talk about Street Fighter League and team tournaments. They had their own Gfinity Elite Series as well a couple years back before SFL was ever a thing. They've been running great events. Shout out to the Shadaloo crew out there. Big up all of you guys. Love you still.
Amazing scene.
Battle Arena, Melbourne. They've always ran great events that have seen tremendous international attendances. But as we'll find out when we speak to some of the players on the weekend, it's really difficult for them to travel. It's like 8 hours just to get to Asia. They are in the middle of the sea, the middle of the ocean. There's nothing around them. It is so far, so expensive, so difficult for these guys to travel and take part in a competitive tour format and be at every event. Big props, by the way, to Travis Styles, who managed to get joint 8th, I think it was last year.
The last chance.
And had to fly out to SE Asia to play a playoff against Fudo. Unfortunately, he got his head bust, but he did manage to get there. And considering the amount of traveling he was able to do, which was not anywhere near the amount of the other Asian professional players in that region, it really will show you, that there is talent there, and we're going to see it this weekend coming.
Yeah, it's a scene that I actually I'm a big fan of. I managed to qualify for Shadaloo Showdown back in 2013 or 2012.
Event.
Yeah, exactly. You put that on, didn't you? Me and Andrea, top 2 finish, qualified. Flew out there and got to commentate with Justin Wong, which is a big part of the whole transition from playing to commentating. But what a scene it was, and we've made some friends for life, I must say, from that part of the world off the back of that. And I hope to see those guys online this weekend, taking part, or at least in the stream chat, or in some capacity. I hope to see those guys. I'm looking forward to speaking to them about the event as well.
We're definitely going to be reaching out and trying to speak to some of the obvious names, the likes of Travis Styles, ROF, Somniacs. There'll be players that you'll see on the weekend as well, like BK Sama, Panda. I'm trying to think of some of the other obvious Australian names, but there's definitely talent in the region. It's going to be great. You're going to be able to check the pre-game show with us again on Saturday before Top 16. We're going to give you some insight into the region. If you're not familiar with Australia, well, we are going to give you the lowdown. We're going to be speaking to a handful of players from the region, asking them their opinions and thoughts on what their community's like, which players we need to look out for, all of that good stuff, giving you the full rundown. But that is, of course, this Saturday. And that's it from us tonight.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, Logan. What an episode. So many things going on, but more to come. Keep it locked and loaded on Capcom Fighters, guys. Yeah,
shout out to Gabs and the VP team, making sure that we can do it this way whilst I am in my safety bubble at home. I'll be back for round 2, I think. I'll be back for round 2. But until then, stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, and we'll see you on round 1 on Saturday. Take care. See you later.